Chapter 1712. Lin Xian's phone rang, and all the other girls stopped talking. It was an unknown number, but Lin Xian should know who it was. Then Lin Xian walked out. When Lin Xian walked out, the girls also knew who it was. It should be the Evil Fiend Temple, because they still had Zhuge Feng and Feng Ling here. It wasn't that they didn't trust them, but to be safe, they definitely couldn't let others know about this matter. That's weird. Did he pick up a girl's call? He actually doesn't dare to let us listen, old pervert. Feng Ling muttered as she ate a mouthful of food. She still had a lot of resentment towards Lin Xian. She always wanted to defeat Lin Xian, but she really couldn't do it. I can't even be perverted if I want to, Zhuge Feng said with a smile. Don't learn from this old pervert. One old pervert in the team is already scary enough. If another one comes, I'll King kill. Feng Ling scratched her hair. Zhuge Feng smiled and nodded. Outside, Lin Xian received a call from the Evil Fiend Temple. Young Master Lin, congratulations on getting first place. Those people have a whole new level of respect for you. Lin Xian didn't know whose voice came from the phone. Obviously, Lin Xian could guess that there must be a spy in the Holy Palace. Maybe this spy's position wasn't small. This was also very normal. It wasn't difficult for the Evil Fiend Temple to do this. You guys are really well informed. That person smiled and said, of course, when is young Master Lin free? It's time for us to meet. Anytime. Lin Xian. Good. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Tiandu Flowing Cloud Pavilion. See you there. Okay. Then Lin Xian hung up the phone. Lin Xian did not know what the Evil Fiend Temple wanted to do, but it was definitely not a good thing. Perhaps it was not necessarily a bad thing for Lin Xian, but it was definitely not a good thing for the human race and the three great forces. However, this was something that Lin Xian had to do. Evil Fiend Temple. Lin Xian had to eradicate the Evil Fiend Temple, no matter from his personal point of view, or from the point of view of a peaceful human. Even if he had to spend a lot of effort and energy, he had to do it well. Otherwise, if the human clan were to start a war with the demon clan on the other side, they would still have to worry about the threat of the Evil Fiend Hall. The Evil Fiend Hall would definitely be eager for the humans and demons to start a real war, because the more chaotic it was, the happier they would be. Lin Xian returned to the private room and said to them, then everyone should rest early and have some fun in Tiandu. Let's wait for the day after tomorrow. We'll report to the Holy Temple and leave a message. As for what to do next, it'll depend on the Holy Temple's arrangements. All right. Then they left the hotel. One day later, at night, Lin Xian came to the Flowing Cloud Pavilion alone. Outside the Flowing Cloud Pavilion, before Lin Xian could enter, an ordinary-looking man walked in front of Lin Xian. Young Master Lin, the Protector has been waiting for you for a long time. The man said to Lin Xian. Lin Xian raised his eyebrows. Protector? What kind of role was this Protector in the Evil Fiend Temple? Lin Xian was not very sure. Lead the way. Then he led Lin Xian into a private room. Please come in. Lin Xian then walked into the private room. The man did not enter, but closed the door and stood guard outside. Lin Xian walked in and looked at a middle-aged man who was about 40 years old sitting there. Is this the so-called Protector? He looked at Lin Xian, then stood up with a smile and extended his hand to Lin Xian. Young Master Lin, we finally meet. Quick, please take a seat. Lin Xian then sat in front of him. This person personally poured a glass of wine for Lin Xian. He looked quite kind. If there's anything, let's get straight to the point. Lin Xian threw him a cigarette. Ha, don't you want to eat something? Look at how much I've ordered. Lin Xian laughed. Are you in the mood to eat? We're talking about business, so we have to eat something. Click. They lit up their cigarettes. Sure. Then they chatted as they ate. I've heard about your performance in the Divine Temple. You've truly impressed me. Don't tell me you want me to lead the Evil Fiend Temple experts. Lin Xian said. Ha. You'll have to change what you're saying because you're also an expert now. Lin Xian shook his head. That's not entirely true. Might I know who you are? Oh right, I was a little too happy to meet you. I nearly forgot to introduce you. Wang Meng, Evil Fiend Temple's left protector. Lin Xian stroked his chin. Left protector? Is it the left protector of a particular evil fiend temple hall, or the main hall's left protector? Of course it's the main hall's left protector, Wang Ming said with a smile. What level was this protector at? For example, in the evil fiend temple, the most powerful person was the temple master. The left and right protectors were the temple master's right-hand men. These right-hand men often interacted with the temple master, and were even the temple master's representatives. Perhaps they were not second or third in terms of authority in the evil fiend temple, but they were definitely top existences. I see. Lin Xian nodded. Wang Ming said with a smile. Do you wish to advance to the heavenly Tao realm? I, evil god, still have the ability to allow you to advance to the heavenly Tao realm in an extremely short period of time. Lin Xian shook his head. Forget it. I'm more inclined to advance slowly. Forcefully pulling up seedlings to help them grow isn't necessarily a good thing. All right. To have such thoughts, you are destined to have great accomplishments. Lin Xian drank a mouthful of alcohol and said, Then let's get down to business. Ha ha ha, all right. This time, I'm here mainly to tell you 3 things. Lin Xian nodded. Of course, there are some things I wish to ask you. Let's start with a few things. Anything is fine. Lin Xian. All right, for the first thing, I wish to ask you, how did the Holy Temple arrange for you? Wang Ming asked. Don't you know? Lin Xian took a puff of his cigarette and asked as he leaned back in his chair. Ha ha ha, you should know that the evil fiend temple has a spy in the Holy Temple. However, this spy is definitely unable to reach an extremely high level. It's not that easy for us to learn such top secrets. Wang Ming said with a smile. All right. Lin Xian shrugged his shoulders and said, Actually, there's nothing top secret. They just want me to join a squad. Oh, that's clear. Anything else? Lin Xian shook his head. Nothing else. They want me to lead the Hidden Dragon Army, but I don't wish to. That's all. Wang Ming nodded. In fact, this meant that the Holy Temple thought very highly of Lin Xian. Chapter 17:13. To the Evil Fiend Hall. The effect such a figure could achieve was unimaginable. Therefore, the Evil Fiend Hall thought highly of Lin Xian. Ignoring everything else, his value was incomparable. Yes, is there any action? Lin Xian shook his head. No. Even if there is, I don't know. All right, then let's talk about something else. It's the 3 important things I want to tell you. Lin Xian said. I don't care what it is. I just want to know what my benefits are. I'm working for you. And you keep saying that you want me to get what I deserve. But up to now, I haven't gotten anything. Instead, I've been working for you. Why? In your eyes, I'm just a tool, right? Lin Xian's attitude was very unfriendly. Ha ha ha, young Master Lin, don't be anxious. Didn't I come to you to talk about this? Wang Ming said with a smile. Besides, I just told you one of the benefits. It can allow you to advance to the heavenly Tao. This is an irresistible temptation to anyone. Lin Xian shook his head. I don't think it's a benefit. In my eyes, it's only a matter of time before I advance to the heavenly Tao realm. Why is there a need to spoil it? Yes. Let's talk about other things first before we talk about these benefits. What do you think? Lin Xian nodded. All right, this is the first thing. I need you to work hard to break into the inner circle of the Divine Temple. The higher your position in the Divine Temple, the greater the benefits for us. The Evil Fiend Temple needs you to do this, and you definitely have the ability and qualifications to do this. Lin Xian stroked his chin. Don't tell me the Evil Fiend Hall wants to destroy the sanctum? Does the Evil Fiend Hall have the ability to do so? Ha ha ha. Wang Ming laughed and said, That's still a little difficult, but there are still great benefits, right? Lin Xian nodded. That's not a problem, but I have a request. My request is that no matter what you want to do, first, I want to know our purpose. Second, if it harms the interests and lives of the majority, I refuse. Ha ha ha, don't worry. That won't happen. Wang Ming laughed. Lin Xian nodded. All right, then I'll move on to the second matter. This matter is extremely important. There's one thing I have to tell you, and that's about Lin and City. It's also about why the Yang clan is fighting with you for the rights to Lin and City. Lin Xian raised an eyebrow. Oh. What is the reason? That's because Lin and city is located at the dragon vein of the entire continent. Wang Meng said. Dragon vein. Lin Xian furrowed his brows as he pondered. So that's how it was. Even if Lin Xian didn't know the specific benefits, Lin Xian knew that as the center of the continent, this place must be very exaggerated. No wonder. No wonder the Yang clan was willing to pay such a price to take down the Yixian group and fight for the rights to Lin and city. So this was the reason. No wonder they still wanted to fight for Lin and city, which was close to the demon clan. If this matter was exposed, then the human race would protect Lin and city with all their might. Because this dragon vein couldn't be given to the demon clan, right? What benefits will this dragon vein bring? Lin Xian asked. The dragon vein hasn't erupted yet. Once it does, the spiritual energy of the entire continent will be even more abundant, and the center point is Lin and city. So, at least one thing is that Lin and city is the center of the entire continent's spiritual energy. It's also the place with the densest spiritual energy. It will become the best place to cultivate. This is just the most basic benefit. Lin Xian. So Lin and city, the Yixian group must not be lost. Moreover, we must continue to acquire Lin and city and completely acquire it. Lin Xian muttered to himself. How did the evil fiend temple know about this? Obviously, this matter was not well known. Otherwise, it would have been impossible for no one to tell him. Even Ling Longshui and the others did not know. But why did the evil fiend temple know? Was it because the good guys couldn't compare to the bad guys? That was impossible, right? 2 days ago, we caught someone from the Yang clan in Lin and city. The young master of the Yang clan, Yang Tian. We got the news from him. Good fellow, this Yang Tian was caught by you guys. Lin Xian couldn't help but laugh. It was really tragic. He's dead. Lin Xian felt that this was very normal. However, if he was killed, would the Yang clan think that it was Lin Xian who did it? Forget it, it didn't matter. Okay, I understand. Lin Xian then nodded and said. You must pay attention to this matter. As far as I know, the crisis caused by the Yang clan in Lin and city should be fine, right? Lin Xian nodded. Yes. If it weren't for your evil fiend temple, there wouldn't be such a big crisis. After all, the evil fiend temple also needs to develop. After all, we didn't know about you at that time. Otherwise, not only would the evil fiend temple need to use the Yixian group's money, our evil fiend temple would even need to spend money on you guys. But now, it's good that we don't have to worry about this anymore. All that's left is to take control of Lin and city. When the time comes, Lin and city will be the stronghold of the evil fiend temple. Lin Xian did not say anything. The third thing is about the benefits you want. After saying that, my brother Wang Meng handed Lin Xian a token. This is the Evil God Fire Palace's Hall Master's token. From today onwards, you are the Evil God Fire Palace's Hall Master. The entire Evil God Fire Palace will be at your disposal. There are several heavenly Dao experts and countless experts. At the same time, I will send you a set of information. This information contains the information of all the core members of the Evil God Fire Palace. The Evil God Fire Palace, which is the Xiao clan, you have been there before. Lin Xian. So this is my benefit? Is this considered a benefit? This is a burden. I've said it before, I don't want these things. I'm not interested in the so-called power and influence. Lin Xian threw the token to Wang Meng. Wang Meng smiled and threw the token to Lin Xian. There's someone over there to help look after it. You should take it. What if you need it? Lin Xian took it. What about the benefits? What benefits do you want? Me? I really don't know what benefits I want. Lin Xian shrugged his shoulders. He didn't need any benefits. Right now he only needed to know where the Evil Fiend Temple's main hall was located, but he couldn't just ask directly, right? Lin Xian wasn't too sure. I should be a core member now, right? Of course. Then can I meet this Evil Fiend Temple's hall master? Chapter 17-14. When Wang Meng heard Lin Xian's words, he smiled. Of course, there's no problem. After all, it was the hall master who asked me to meet you. The hall master is personally paying attention to everything about young Master Lin. Lin Xian nodded. Don't tell me he's just trying to brush me off. Ha ha ha. Wang Ming laughed and said, how is that possible? If young Master Lin wants to meet the hall master, then I'll arrange it. You can meet him when you're free. Lin Xian shook his head. Forget it, let's talk about it later. Right now, I need the capital support of the Evil Fiend Temple. F***ck. If you use his money, won't he make you spit it out? Didn't the Yixian group get the capital support of the Holy Sanctum? Lin Xian said. That's right, but I don't think it's enough. Because next, not only do I have to defend the Yang family, but I also have to continue to buy Lin and City, so I need a lot of capital. With the Holy Sanctum's intervention, the Yang family probably won't continue to fight with you for Lin and City. Wang Ming said. What if? After all, you said that Lin and City is located in the Dragon Vein. Do you think the Yang family will stop? Maybe they'll stop on the surface, but in reality, they definitely won't. They might not make a move because of their status, but won't they control another family to make a move on the Yixian group and Lin and City? Hearing Lin Xian's words, Wang Ming pondered for a moment. Well, what you said makes sense. You're now a member of the Evil Fiend Temple, and the Yixian group is also part of the Evil Fiend Temple. The Evil Fiend Temple should help the Yixian group through this difficult time. I'll discuss this matter with them as soon as possible after I go back. I should be able to transfer the money to you in a few days. Lin Xian nodded. Okay, is there anything else I can do? Wang Ming said. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to take out something that satisfied you. If you need any help, feel free to ask the Evil Divine Palace. This is the way to contact me. You just need to crush this bead. Wang Ming handed a bead to Lin Xian. In addition, what you need to do is nothing more than guard Lin and City well so that you can communicate with the Evil Fiend Temple in the future. Also, raise your cultivation level as soon as possible and reach the Heavenly Dao Realm. Enter the inner sanctum of the Holy Temple, and make it easier for you to coordinate with us. Lin Xian nodded. I feel like I don't have much power. Lin Xian said. Don't worry, I'll secretly reveal a piece of news to you. The Hall Master is already looking for his successor. There are a total of 3 people, and you are one of them. If you improve yourself and show off yourself, it won't be long before you can even become the Evil Fiend Hall Master. Also, I've already told you, if you need any help, just mention it to the Evil Fiend Hall at any time, and the Evil Fiend Hall will do everything they can to help you. Lin Xian, I have it now. Oh. Then Lin Xian said. I need your Evil Fiend Hall to investigate the whereabouts of a few people. Are you referring to, Lin Xian? You should know what I'm referring to. Wang Ming smiled and said. That still needs to be made clear. After all, if I misunderstand, the whereabouts of my sister and the rest. Lin Xian. Oh, that. We happen to have some clues. Oh. Lin Xian pricked up his brows. That's because they previously came to the Evil Fiend Hall to discuss cooperation. They know where the Evil Fiend Hall is? Yet I don't know? Lin Xian had an unhappy look on his face. Young Master Lin, don't misunderstand. They obviously didn't contact the people from the main temple, said Wang Ming. Then can I not know where the main temple is now? Lin Xian took a sip of wine and asked casually. Young Master Lin, of course there's no problem. However, young Master Lin doesn't go to the main temple right now. If there's a day when we really need young Master Lin's cooperation, we'll definitely let young Master Lin know. Wang Ming smiled. Lin Xian didn't say much. It could be seen that they didn't trust him very much, even after he ate the poison pill. After all, although the poison pill could kill people if they revealed the secret, but what if they had to fight to the death? He would die, but he would also reveal the location of the Evil Fiend Hall's main temple. After all, this Lin Xian was still considered a ruthless person in their eyes. What's their news? Lin Xian asked. The news is they should be in the fiend race now. If they're not wrong, they should be planning to form some kind of cooperation with the fiend race. Their ambition is to rule the human race, and perhaps even the entire continent. Their purpose in coming to the Evil Fiend Hall is to cooperate with the Evil Fiend Hall to disrupt the 3 great forces and replace them. To tell the truth, The three great forces were the human race's protective umbrella. Without them, the human race wouldn't be able to withstand a single blow. The Fiend race, the Myriad Fiend Alliance. It should be the Myriad Fiend Alliance. The worst should be the Fiend God Hall, Wang Meng said. Alright, I understand. Lin Xian nodded and drank the wine in one gulp. Then I wish us a happy cooperation. Lin Xian nodded. If there's nothing else, I'll be leaving first. Alright, young Master Lin, please pay more attention to our matters. I know. Also, I don't care about myself, but I don't want the Evil Fiend Hall to disturb them. Lin Xian said. Young Master Lin, don't worry about this. It's been so long, have you seen us disturb them? Lin Xian nodded and walked away. The Fiend God Hall, the Myriad Fiend Alliance. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. Lin Xian had a rough idea of their current progress. They were basically perfect. Lin Xian also knew that it was time for them to carry out their grand plans. The human race was in a very bad situation. The Fiend race Zhao Mengyue, and the Evil Fiend Hall. The pressure on the three major forces was especially great. This was also why Lin Xian wanted to join them and form a small team. With their strength, they could share some of the burden. Fortunately, the Evil Fiend Hall didn't ask Lin Xian to do something that he was extremely unwilling to do for the time being. Right now, it was nothing more than going deep into the sacred palace to coordinate with the outside. This was the kind of thing that Lin Xian didn't have to do at all. He did his own thing, and in the eyes of the Evil Fiend Hall, he was also helping the Evil Fiend Hall. What surprised Lin Xian was the news that Wang Meng brought to him from Linen City. The dragon vein. Lin Xian pondered for a moment. I have to ask Ling Long and the others about the specifics of this dragon vein. On the other side, Wang Meng made a phone call. Hall Master, I saw Lin Xian. Wang Meng said. Nothing special. I've already explained everything. From the looks of it, he seems to be somewhat dissatisfied with our Evil Fiend Hall. A voice came from inside. It's normal for him to be dissatisfied. The Evil Fiend Hall didn't give him enough benefits, right? Yes, he doesn't care about the benefits that others say are crazy. Chapter 17:15. It had to be said that Lin Xian was very cunning. He knew that the more he obeyed them, the more suspicious they would be. Yes, Lin Xian ate the poison pill. In their eyes, Lin Xian's life was also in their hands. They would not doubt it. However, they were worried that if they trusted Lin Xian too much, he would have thoughts of fighting to the death. It was hard to say. Once he did, it would be a devastating blow to the Evil Fiend Temple. Therefore, they chose to be more cautious. And Lin Xian could not be too hostile to the Evil Fiend Temple. What if they did not want to cooperate with Lin Xian? Therefore, Lin Xian's current level was about the best. It's normal for him to be dissatisfied. How should I put it? We can't let him be too dissatisfied. He is very valuable. Moreover, this sovereign does intend to cultivate him as the sovereign's successor. Therefore, if he asks us to do it well, we must do it well. Palace Master, he said. He doesn't want any benefits for the time being. He can't think of what he wants. Right now, he only wants to find traces of his sister, Linya. The other side was silent for a while. Do it well. But the whereabouts of that group of people are uncertain. Moreover, their cultivation is very high. With our ability, I'm afraid it won't be that easy. The Palace Master said. Didn't they want to cooperate with this sovereign? We rejected them before. Then contact them for me. The rest will be left to Lin Xian. Whether we can meet him or not, our sincerity to help that Lin Xian is already here. I believe he will thank us. Understood. On the other side, Lin Xian called Linglong Shui. The dragon vein? In Linen City? Lin Xian nodded. Yes, that's what they said. I can't confirm it for the time being. However, I am curious as to why the Yang family wants to go against us. It seems that there is a clear explanation. This dragon vein is the center of the entire continent, and it also represents the Qi vein of the continent. The simplest logic is that if the dragon vein erupts, Linen City will be the place with the densest spiritual Qi in the entire continent. It is like the mouth of a spring, and water will continuously flow out from it. I can understand this point. Other than this, what else could it be? Ling Longshui shook her head. That's hard to say. But if you want to have more power and leverage, Lin and City must remain. But at the same time, it also means that in the future, Lin and City will become the most desirable place for the demons, the evil sects, and the people who took your sister away. I'm afraid that in the near future, Lin and City will be the most powerful, but also the most chaotic. Then I definitely can't just give this place away. If it's in my hands, at least I can ensure that I'm in control of this place. At least it won't fall into the hands of those with ill intentions. Lin Xian. Amen. But you must also be prepared to endure an enormous amount of pressure. Lin Xian laughed. That's how I've been all these years. Let's leave it at that. About that, I might have to return after some time. Over here, everyone and I need to improve ourselves. Let's see if we can reach the heavenly Tao realm as soon as possible. Okay. Then Lin Xian hung up. There were many ways to raise one's strength to the heavenly Tao realm. Lin Xian might be able to raise his strength quickly, but that was definitely not Lin Xian's true goal. He wanted it to be faster, but in order to be faster, he had to give up on a large portion of the increase in strength from the heavenly Tao realm. Therefore, Lin Xian would rather raise his strength a little later. Pulling up seedlings to help them grow might seem good in the short term, but it was definitely not a good thing in the long term. Lin Xian was not a warrior who had no hope of advancing his entire life, so why should he be in a rush? He wanted to raise his strength even more. The system had already given him a lot of improvements, but he could do even more. Why should he give it up? Yes. He wrote a note saying that he needed to quickly raise his strength to the heavenly Tao realm. He wanted to return to Earth, but he could not be in a rush. Late at night, Lin Xian returned to the residence that the Holy Temple had arranged for him. The next day, they gathered in Morongfeng's meeting room. All right. Morongfeng looked at the 9 people standing in front of him and nodded in satisfaction. Have some tea. They sat down. My guess is about right, but your team is still short of one person. Do you have anyone in mind? Lin Xian shook his head. Not yet. It's fine if you don't have anyone for now. I have some suitable ones here. They are also very strong. Do you want to consider them? Winchim said. Our idea is to start with 9 people. We can search for the remaining one later. If there's really no one suitable, we'll just find one. That's fine, but it has to be done quickly. After all, it's a team of 10 people. It requires great rapport. Rapport still needs time to develop. A team with rapport and mutual trust, and a team that is willing to leave their backs to their teammates, will be able to unleash greater strength. Morongfeng said with a nod. That's why we don't want to randomly find a 10th person. Yeah. Morongfeng muttered to himself. All right, then I'll help you register. However, it's best to keep your identities a secret. You'll need to complete some very secretive missions. You might even need to hide your identities. They nodded. Have you thought of a name for the team? Lin Xian, let's call it the Storm Team. Lin Xian had already discussed this with them. For Lin Xian, the Storm Mercenary Group was a small team that Lin Xian had met from the beginning. He was still in contact with them even now. All right, tomorrow we'll give you a special identity medal. With this medal, you'll have some privileges in the 3 major forces, especially in the Holy Temple. In the Holy Temple, your privileges are not inferior to the privileges of a branch of the Holy Temple in a city. Morongfeng said. They nodded. Then is there anything we need to do now? Linging asked. Yes, I'll tell you about it in a few days. Right now, our people are investigating something. After the investigation is over, you'll be the most suitable team to complete it. It's related to the devil race. Make some preparations in the next few days to cultivate your teamwork. Furthermore, you'll be assigned your roles in the team. This is very important. Yes. Go. After walking outside, Lin Xian said to them, You can go do your own things first. Xiao Yuhan, come with me. Then, Lin Xian led Wu Yuhan to the side. What's the matter? Amen. I obtained a life oddity velvet this morning. In addition to the things I've prepared before, it's enough. I think it's time to try to reconstruct your sister's body. Lin Xian looked at Wu Yuhan and said. Lin Xian suddenly thought of the life oddity velvet. After contacting the evil fiend shrine, they really did have it. They actually gave it to Lin Xian. Chapter 17-16. Wu Yuhan was very happy to hear Lin Xian's news. All these years, her sister sharing a body with her had given her a headache. Of course, she did not despise it. After all, Wu Yunhua was her only relative. It was just that she wished to see her sister reconstruct her body and return. And now Lin Xian was finally telling her that he could do it. She knew that although Lin Xian might not have done anything himself, he had been asking the people around him to help him search for the heaven and earth treasures needed to reconstruct a body. Reconstructing a body was truly not an easy task. This was because the heaven and earth treasures needed to reconstruct a body were items that were nearly extinct. They could even be very, very precious. They were so precious that it was unimaginable. Lin Xian looked at Wu Yuhan and said, "Everything has been prepared. Let's make a trip back to Linen City." Coincidentally, Xiao Linglong and a few other heavenly Dao realm existences are there. With them, there shouldn't be too much of a problem. Yeah. Wu Yuhan nodded. Let's go. Then Lin Xian led Wu Yuhan back to Linen City. At home, Huangxi had yet to leave. Lin Xian informed her of the matter. Yeah, we can begin once everything is ready, Yirenbing said as she hugged Tianyi. How long will it take? Is there anything we need to take note of? Lin Xian asked. There are things we need to take note of. It's not difficult to reconstruct a body. What might be more dangerous is the soul entering the body, Yirenbing said. Yeah, the soul entering the body is simple. The most difficult part is whether the soul can perfectly match the reconstructed body. After matching, whether it can fuse perfectly is a difficult part, Huangxi said. What's the success rate? Lin Xian asked. If there aren't any mistakes, 80%. Lin Xian looked at Wu Yuhan. 80%. Do you want to give it a try? Wu Yuhan lowered her head as though she was communicating with Wu Yunhua in her body. Yes. Lin Xian then asked. Then what if it fails? If I fail? Linglong Shui pondered for a moment. The worst possibility is that the soul will be destroyed. However, if we fail, we will try our best to ensure that the soul remains. Injuries are inevitable, but we will try our best not to destroy the soul. Then let's give it a try. Yes. Shua, Linglong Shui waved her hand, and a portal appeared in front of her. You or Lingyu take care of them. Linglong Yue nodded and they walked in together. This was a very beautiful small world. What was different from the outside world was that there was a large amount of heaven and earth spiritual energy here. Let me guide the spirit first. After Huangxi finished speaking, she condensed an array formation there. Then, all the heaven and earth spirit qi in the surroundings gathered at their place. Linglong Shui took out the spirit items they had gathered, and Lin Xian also took out the strange life velvet. Where did you get this life oddity velvet? Linglong Shui asked. From the Evil Fiend Temple. They were lucky that the Evil Fiend Temple happened to have it. Moreover, they wanted to curry favor with Lin Xian, so they naturally gave it to Lin Xian. After all, it was not very useful to them. Yes. Linglong Shui looked at Wu Yuhan and said, Don't resist. I need to draw your sister out of your body. Wu Yuhan said, My sister's soul will dissipate once it leaves my body. Yirenbing said, Don't worry. Okay. Wu Yuhan nodded. Then Linglong Shui formed a seal with both hands. Lin Xian was secretly amazed. Sure enough, different people's experiences were different. In Lin Xian's eyes, this was something that he didn't understand at all, something that he couldn't touch at all. However, they all understood. Yirenbing was using the spirit items to condense something. Gradually, light flashed and the spirit items gathered together. Whoosh! A ray of light flashed and Linglong Shui drew out the soul of Wu Yuhan's sister, Wu Yuhan. This was Lin Xian's first time seeing Wu Yunhua in person. It was Wu Yuhan's appearance. After all, they were twins. The moment she came out, she would turn into nothingness and her soul would dissipate. Whoosh! Linglong Shui's power surged toward her and Wu Yunhua's soul remained in place. How much longer? Linglong Shui glanced at Yirenbing. Yes. Wu Yuhan looked at Wu Yunhua. Your breasts seem to be bigger than your sister's. Lin Xian said to Wu Yunhua. Wu Yunua's soul smiled slightly. That's for sure. Needless to say, Lin Xian had to thank Wu Yunua. If not for Wu Yunua, Wu Yuhan would not have been fooled by Lin Xian. I know what you're thinking. Wu Yunua looked at Lin Xian. Ah, what do you know? You're thinking that after my body is reconstructed, you're planning to put us sisters on the bed and experience what it's like to be twins. Lin Xian. Lin Xian instantly felt a few pairs of sharp eyes on him. F***ck. I didn't. Lin Xian hurriedly said. Hey, I'm F***king helping you. You're harming me. Lin Xian glared at Wu Yunua. I didn't say I didn't agree. Wu Yunua laughed. Lin Xian. Wow. Whoosh. At this moment, a ray of light appeared in front of Yi Renbing, and then, the ray of light gradually converged into the appearance of a woman. However, it was hard to say what it looked like because it was just a ray of light. Following this ray of light, it surged into the sky. It's almost done. Yi Renbing heaved a sigh of relief. Huangshi looked at Wu Yunua and slowly raised her hand. In a while, make sure you don't reject this power. Try fusing with it. If there's any rejection, it will likely fail. Wu Yunua nodded. Thank you. Whoosh, then, under Huangshi's power, her soul flew into the ray of light in the sky as the two forces fused into one. Wu Yuhan looked up. She was very nervous. She was not very good at expressing her emotions. Instead, there were times when she expressed her disgust with her sister. This was because her sister had done many things that she should not have done when she was controlling her body. However, she would only express her displeasure. How could her sister, her only family member, be disgusted? She was very nervous and afraid. What if she failed? She could not accept it. She prayed. Lin Xian placed his hand on her shoulder. Don't worry. It'll be fine. At that instant, she felt a lot more at ease. Yeah. Linglong Shui, Yi Renbing, and Huangshi, the three heavenly Tao realm existences, constantly surged their powers into the void. Bing Lingyue did not come because she had yet to reach the heavenly Tao realm, so she was of little help. Chapter 17:17. Time passed slowly, gradually. The power in the sky became clearer and clearer. Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief. I think it's going to succeed. He was also afraid of failure. This was Wu Yuhan's sister. Of course, he did not want to fail. Moreover, if it succeeded, what were the benefits? F***ck. Twins. The scene that Wu Yunua described just now was something that any man would yearn for. Most importantly, the Wu sisters had such explosive figures and outstanding looks. Take off, take off. The three ladies retracted their energy at the same time. How is it? Lin Xian asked hurriedly. Wu Yuhan also looked at them expectantly. It seems to be very successful so far. Next is the process of her merging with this body. This process will depend on her. Linglong Shui said. It should be successful. Lin Xian pondered for a moment. What followed was a very tense process. They did not say anything and just stood there or sat there looking at the situation above the void. The three ladies stayed behind as they had important things to do. For example, if it failed, they had to ensure that Wu Yunua's soul was intact. Otherwise, she would turn into ashes. Time passed slowly above the void. The light became weaker and weaker. The light is getting weaker and weaker. Is it? Wu Yuhan said worriedly. Not necessarily. It might succeed soon. Yi Renbing said. Whoosh, in an instant, a burst of energy erupted. The few of them closed their eyes subconsciously. When they opened their eyes again, a figure was standing above the void. It's a success. Seeing this scene, they were also pleasantly surprised. It was, of course, the best. That's great. A smile appeared on Wu Yuhan's face. Anyway, she had not smiled like this for a long time. After all, Wu Yunua was her only relative, her only sister. Gulp, Lin Xian looked up without blinking. At this time, they realized that something was wrong. Yi Renbing walked to Lin Xian's side and pulled his ear. Hey, what are you doing? Lin Xian was dragged away by her. Is it nice? Cough, cough. Lin Xian coughed dryly and held her hand. You look the best. She chuckled. Then Lin Xian raised his head again. Earbook felt helpless. Alright, how could he change his perverted heart? Why did Lin Xian want to see it? F***ck. White and shiny. Wu Yunhua didn't have any clothes. Then tell me, as a man, if he doesn't look at this, should he lower his head and look at the flowers and plants under his feet? Was he crazy? Wu Yunhua slowly landed on the ground and looked at her own body. Wu Yuhan hurriedly ran over. How is it? She asked. You don't say. I'm quite used to it, Wu Yunhua said. After all, she often used Wu Yuhan's body. Therefore, now that she had a new body, there was nothing strange about it. That's good. Wu Yuhan nodded and threw a piece of clothing to Wu Yunhua. Put on your clothes first. Wu Yunhua smiled and said, No need. Look at how happy he is. Lin Xian, who was behind, was speechless. Cough cough. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose. Nonsense, I didn't look at it much. Wu Yunhua put on the clothes. Really? Why do I think you looked at it from the beginning to the end? Earbook said coldly. Go away, nonsense, it's all nonsense. Just look. It's not like I haven't seen it before. Wu Yunhua smiled. F***ck. Don't talk nonsense. When did I see it? Isn't my dear sister's the same as mine? Everyone was speechless. Cough cough. Lin Xian coughed again. Then Wu Yunhua bowed to the three women. Thank you, seniors. Well, take your time to get used to it, Ling Longshui said. Yes. Lin Xian glanced at her. F***ck. 10th level of the Great Void Stage? Are you kidding? You directly reached the 10th level of the Great Void Stage after reconstructing your body? Lin Xian looked at Wu Yunhua in confusion. Wu Yunhua was also stunned for a moment. Then, she opened her palm and a powerful force condensed there. It's normal. So many top-grade spiritual objects of heaven and earth reconstructed your body. Plus the power of the three of us, it's reasonable. Huangshi said. F***ck. How can we, who work hard to improve our cultivation all day long, endure this? Lin Xian said helplessly. You can, but you don't want to. Lin Xian scratched his head. Wu Yunhua said. My strength seems to be okay. Yes, that's right. These spiritual objects of heaven and earth are all top-notch, and they can also strengthen one's foundation. Your body is formed from them, so you don't have to worry about the so-called foundation being unstable. This is equivalent to you being in this realm, and not suddenly soaring to this realm. Wu Yunhua nodded. I understand. Lin Xian suddenly realized something. Hey, then it seems that we have a candidate for the 10th person in our team. Wu Yuhan's beautiful eyes also lit up. Yes. The key was that Wu Yunhua could completely trust her. This was an effect that could not be achieved by finding a powerful genius to fill the vacancy. Furthermore, Wu Yunhua had been following Wu Yuhan all this while. Hence, she had been learning from the people around Lin Xian as well as the cooperation and chemistry between them. It was very easy for her to integrate into their team. Of course, no problem. As long as you don't think that I'm a burden. Wu Yunhua winked at Lin Xian slyly. That won't happen. What are your attributes? Let me see. Wu Yunhua sensed it. Dark, wind, and thunder. 3 attributes. You've unleashed your attack to the extreme. Lin Xian nodded with satisfaction. It seems that there's also the dark mist. Wu Yunhua opened her hand and a ball of mist appeared in her palm. Why do you have the dark mist? The dark mist was one of the powers of the 12 demon gods. Although there were others who had it, this thing was absorbed by Wu Yuhan previously. I don't know. Maybe it's because of Wu Yuhan? Wu Yuhan opened her hand, and the dark mist condensed. This Wu Yunhua, after reconstructing her physical body, directly reached the peak. Super high realm, top-notch attributes and combat skills. What Wu Yuhan had was all hers. There was also the dark mist. Let's go back. Ling Longshui said. Okay. Then they left the place. Ling Longyue looked at the 2 sisters who looked exactly the same, and opened her mouth. Wow. Didn't that damn hooligan fly? Ling Longyue exclaimed. Lin Xian was shy. What are you talking about? Don't expose me. I'm too shy. Chapter 17-18. Wu Yunhua was still familiarizing herself with her body. Actually, there was nothing special that she needed to familiarize herself with, nor was there anything wrong. It was more like getting used to it. Let me hug you. Wu Yunhua saw little Shirshir and couldn't wait to carry her up. Little Shirshir wasn't shy at all. Women were born with maternal instincts. Seeing such a beautiful and cute baby, who wouldn't want to hug it? You have to say your life is really good. Wu Yunhua said to Lin Xian. The other girls were preparing the ingredients for the hot pot. Why do you say that? You can even give birth to such cute babies, and 2 of them at that. You should be thanking the gods. Wu Yunhua said. TSK, isn't that normal? After all, my genes are right there. Come on, look at yourself, and then look at Big Sister and Big Sister Yi's appearance. It's obvious that you've lowered the standards. If you weren't so ugly, little Tianyi and little Shirshir would definitely be even prettier. Ling Longyue grumbled. I'm warning you, don't force me to beat you up. I'm not afraid of you. Ling Longyue glared at Lin Xian. You're getting bolder and bolder. Why do you think I'm your elder? Bah, when I was born, your grandfather's grandfather wasn't even born yet. Ling Longyue spat. When I have time, I'll teach you a lesson. After dinner, Lin Xian stayed there for the night, and then directly returned to Tiandu with Wu Yunhua and Wu Yuhan. It wasn't that Lin Xian didn't want to stay with them, but Lin Xian might have reached a time when he needed to work hard. How should he put it? Humans, in fact, should always work hard, especially martial artists. However, for Lin Xian, he had only experienced a period of hard work in his life. This period was when he was just able to cultivate, obtain the system, and then went to the martial arts academy. During this period of time, Lin Xian was really quite hardworking. After a long period of time, Lin Xian was in a comfortable circle. Although he still had many enemies, in Lin Xian's eyes, these enemies were nothing. And now, Lin Xian had entered a period where he had to work hard. He needed to reach the heavenly Tao. He needed to reach the heavenly Tao. Reaching the heavenly Tao was just a small goal. Now Lin Xian understood that the true face of this continent was being revealed. The face of this continent that Lin Xian had seen before was only the tip of the iceberg. He urgently needed to improve. In the Holy Palace, I'm back. Lin Xian shouted. In their private base, Lingying Hanchuxue Xiaoxinyue, Fengling, Wang Xintong, Murongyu and Zhuge Feng were undergoing training. Their current training was nothing more than forming a team in the virtual chamber to fight against powerful simulated monsters. This kind of battle was the most effective way to improve one's strength. There was no other way. Of course, except for actual combat. However, this was not much different from actual combat, and there was no danger to one's life. Of course, actual combat was still actual combat, and there were many differences in actual combat. Hearing Lin Xian's voice, they all stopped training and sat up from the virtual chamber. When they saw Wu Yuhan and Wu Yunhua beside Lin Xian, they were all stunned. Then they rubbed their eyes. Did I close my eyes for too long and see double? Fengling rubbed her eyes and said, double your head. Lin Xian smiled, then said, let me introduce you. This is Wu Yunhua, Wu Yuhan's twin sister. From now on, she's also the 10th member of our storm squad. Lingying came over and poked Wu Yunhua's face. You're a real person, right? Wu Yunhua smiled and said, of course. How come I've never heard of you before? Han Chuxue asked. Wu Yuhan said, it's nothing, I just didn't mention it before. Okay, then let's introduce ourselves too. Xiao Xinyue said. No need, I know you guys and I'm very familiar with you guys. Wu Yunhua smiled. Wang Xintong blinked, then looked at Lin Xian in confusion. Well, that's not important. What's important is that we're all here. Then, how do we recognize you two in the future? Lingying asked as she peeled a lollipop and sucked on it. The one with the bigger chest is me, and the one with the smaller one is my sister. The girls, Murongyu said. Okay, since we're all here, let's report to my father. Okay. No need, I'm coming over. Murong Feng pushed open the door and walked in with a smile. You're welcome, have a seat. Then they sat in a circle. Murong Feng was their direct leader, so if there was anything, they could just look for him. Of course, Their biggest advantage was that they were familiar with Morong Fong. After all, they had Morong Yu and Lin Xian, so they didn't need to be too reserved. Morong Fong looked at Wu Yunhua and nodded. Wu family's eldest daughter, right? Wu Yunhua nodded. Well, I've heard about this matter, and I know that Lin Xian went to Feng country for this matter. Where have you been all these years? I thought something had happened to you. Wu Yunhua smiled and said, all these years, I've lived the same life as my sister. Morong Fong nodded. Of course, he wouldn't have thought that she had reconstructed her physical body. Well, but it's okay, your revenge has been avenged, and you two sisters have grown to this extent, so your family can rest in peace. Morong Fong then looked at Lin Xian and said, I really didn't expect that the 10th candidate would be Wu Yuhan's sister. Lin Xian scratched his head and said, everyone is familiar with each other, and the strength is enough, so I think this is the best configuration. That's right. In my eyes, the 10 of you must be the team with the greatest potential, so I won't talk nonsense with you. I've already made some plans for you, so come and take a look. Then they followed Morong Fong into a high-tech room. Morong Fong waved his hand, and a high-tech image appeared in the air in front of him. There was a total of more than 100 people's information on this image. This is the information I've gathered so far. These people are from the other teams of the Sanctum, the Trial Union, the Bounty Hunter Guild, and some geniuses from the top forces and families. The information isn't very complete. Their attributes and realms are only revealed on the surface. In reality, they should be much stronger than what's shown here, Morong Fong said. Chapter 17-19. Lin Xian and company took a glance. They are all heavenly Dao? They were all shocked. Of course, Morong Yu was still all right. She had long known of it, but she was also shocked when she first learned of it. Morong Fong nodded. That's right. They are all heavenly Dao. Most of them are between 25 and 32 years old. They can be considered to be of your generation. They are the pinnacle existences in the entire continent. Perhaps you did not understand them in the past, but now, you have to understand them. Lin Xian was secretly horrified. Aren't heavenly Dao old freaks? Why are all these young people heavenly Dao? It's completely different from what I imagined. Xiao Xingyue said. Nearly everyone on the continent has the same idea as you. After all, your previous realms and the world you can come into contact with are limited. But now, all of you have matured and your realms are sufficient. There are some things you need to know. Morong Fong said. Actually, be it the present or a long time ago, such a phenomenon is very normal. It is only a few decades ago that was a period of great decline. You said that those who reached the heavenly Dao realm were old freaks. That was indeed correct back then. This is because it was very difficult to raise one's realm back then. The heaven and earth spiritual energies were not as plentiful. Morong Fong paused and said, but these years, especially after the appearance of the Son of God system, the truly powerful people would increase their realms at an extremely fast speed. Normally, it would take 100 or 1,000 years to reach the heavenly Dao realm, but they would use 20 or 30 years to succeed. For martial artists, aside from their own innate talent, the rest would be the problem of the heaven and earth spiritual power. Therefore, from now on, the human race will enter another era of prosperity. The people you see have rapidly grown in recent years because of the God's Child system. This is because since ancient times, we have never lacked talented people. It's just that the heaven and earth spiritual energies limit the growth of realms. Lin Xian and company pondered over it. I thought Lin Xian and Morong Yu were the best. Wang Xintong said. They are the best, but they are not the best. Or rather, they are not the best now. Morong Fong said. These people are generally at the one-star heavenly Dao realm? They are the pinnacle existences in this world. Take Tian Lin for example. I've told you before that he is the sacred temple's sacred son, the eldest son of the Tian family. He is 28 years old, and a 3-star heavenly Dao realm expert. That's all I know. If there aren't any accidents, the sacred temple will be under his control in the future. Morong Fong pointed at a person and said. After pausing for a moment he continued. Also, in your previous impression, the heavenly Tao is the pinnacle of existence in this world. In fact, this is indeed the case. However, you all think that a heavenly Tao with 1 star or 2 stars is an extremely pinnacle existence. In fact, let me tell you, no matter if it's the demon race or the human race, there are plenty of heavenly Tao above 5 stars, 6 stars, 9 stars, and even 10 stars. These people might be people from 10,000 years ago. It's just that because of the era, most of them won't appear. What sort of power is 10 stars at the heavenly Tao realm? Morong Yu pondered slightly. I don't know, because even I have never seen the true strength of 10 stars at the heavenly Tao realm. The sacred temple should have no less than 50 heavenly Tao realm experts with 10 stars at the heavenly Tao realm, much less 9 or 8 stars. Everyone. This has really refreshed my understanding of the world, Zhuge Feng said. That's something new, Zhuge Feng said. If not, why do you think the demon race didn't choose to attack the human race by force? Instead, they slowly took down the cities one by one. It's not that easy for them. But similarly, the demon race is very strong. Furthermore, the demon race's combat strength is much stronger than the human race's. Feng Ling said, I know that. Basically, the higher the realm, the more obvious the difference. Yes, because of the demon race's cultivation, they might need 1,000 years to cultivate to the heavenly Tao realm. As for the human race, they have a chance in 100 years or even a few decades. Their foundations are on completely different levels. Morong Feng said. Lin Xian looked at the information of these people. These are all from the 3 major factions. There are also some top reclusive family clans. Therefore, the most important task for the 10 of you is none other than to raise your realm to the heavenly Tao realm. All of you are typically at 8, 9, or 10 stars. Furthermore, your talent is definitely sufficient. It's just that you have not experienced the tempering of these people. They are bound to attempt to break through to the heavenly Tao realm as soon as possible. Furthermore, you are younger than them. 1 year. I'll give all of you a year to break through to the heavenly Tao realm. I believe that there shouldn't be too much of a problem in this 1 year. Han Chushua asked, don't we still have a competition with them? Yes, I've rejected it. This competition is actually more of a competition between you and the second team of the various major factions. I don't think there's much of a need for it. These people are from the first team. You will have frequent contact with them in the future. Alright, then we should focus on raising our realms and breaking through to the heavenly Tao realm. Lin Xian. That's right. Then Morong Feng waved his hand as the scene changed. A map appeared. This is a place among the Fei race. It's called the Fei God Empire. You can simply understand it as an empire of the Fei race. There are many cities of the Fei race here. All the Fei race that appear in these cities are existences that have taken human form. In other words, any random person you see is a celestial venerable, great void, or even heavenly Tao. Morong Feng said. This is our trial? Morong Feng nodded. Yes, you can say that it's a trial. It's also the place I found for all of you. Those people have all been to this place. The Fei race also has their own good places. Once you are there are many things that can allow you to obtain the greatest improvement. There are dangers of death and all sorts of terrifying tests. Only in this place can you obtain the greatest improvement. Think about it. Lin Xian said. I don't think there's anything to think about. Since they have all gone, why can't we go? Everyone nodded. Alright, it's good that all of you have this awareness. Then, all of you should prepare. When you reach the Fei God Empire, the signal might not be able to pass through. Don't worry, we have this signal transmitter. Oh right, I almost forgot about this thing. However, when you reach the Fei God Empire, especially in the cities of the Fei race, you must be careful. Try not to expose your phone as much as possible, because it will expose your identity as a human. Understood. Alright, I'll tell you the rest of the follow-up. Prepare yourselves and set off in a few days. Yes. Chapter 1720. 3 days later, Lin Xian, Han Chushua, Ling Ying, Wang Xintong, Wu Yuhan, Wu Yunhua, Xiao Xinyue, Morong Yu, Feng Ling, and Zhuge Feng were all ready to go. This small team of 10 people was relatively secretive. It could be said that Morongfeng had secretly established this small team. Of course, he would inform the other forces later on. Moreover, he would also need them to do a lot of things. However, this secret had to be kept for the time being for the sake of their safety, and for the sake of their safety. In these 3 days, Lin Xian also told Miao Xiaomiao, Linglong Shui, Bai Xian Xian, Morongqing, and the other girls about this matter. On Sky Blue Planet, Lin Xian's family was them. Other than them, Lin Xian had nothing else to worry about. If there was anything else, it would be their family. In the future, they would be Lin Xian's mother-in-law, right? They didn't think much of it. Lin Xian going to improve his cultivation was the best. They just wouldn't be able to see him, but they could still video chat. This wasn't a big deal. It just so happened that they also needed to improve their cultivation. Have you brought everything that you should bring? The best spiritual energy recovery medicine, healing medicine, and other things have all been brought. Also, I've prepared some powerful spiritual weapons from the temple. They're one-time combat tools that can be of some use in dangerous situations. Morongfeng reminded them. Yes, we've brought everything. Morongfeng nodded his head. The demon god empire is vast, and there are many demon beasts. Moreover, it is very messy. However, there are 2 secret realms there, the divine dragon secret realm, and the Qilin secret realm. If you have the ability, you must go there. You may find some good things or even opportunities there. As for the rest, we will leave it up to fate. We have not explored that place for a long time. Besides Tianlin and the others, almost no one has been there for many years. Got it. Then Morongfeng handed each of them a jade bottle. This is a demon aura pill. After consuming it, your aura will be that of demon beasts. As long as you don't encounter those terrifying existences, you won't be discovered. Even the spiritual energy you release will be that of demon beasts. They took it. When we reach the demon god empire, I'll give you guys a way to farm monsters quickly and legitimately, Morongfeng said. What? Although the demon god empire is an empire, it is divided into many cities and many forces. These forces are like fire and water, and often kill each other. This is the situation of the demon race. Unless the Myriad Demon League wants to unify them to attack the human race, they won't care about this kind of thing. Instead, this is what the Myriad Demon League advocates. The demon race advocates the rule of the strongest. When the time comes, you can join a faction that likes to fight and use them to attack other factions. You can take the opportunity to farm monsters and improve your fighting skills. They nodded. I don't have anything else to tell you. Take your own life as the most important thing. Support and help each other. By all means, don't have any conflicts, Morongfeng said. Oh, Uncle Morong, you may have to worry about this for others, but you don't have to worry about us. Lin Xian really didn't think that there would be any conflicts between them. The main thing was that there might be fighting and scheming among others, but there was no such thing between them. They were either Lin Xian's women, or soon to be, or they had a very good impression of Lin Xian. Even if it was Feng Ling, they could be considered to have experienced life and death together. Among them, it seemed that Feng Ling was the only one that they weren't too familiar with. Then there was Zhuge Feng. How big of a mistake could there be? Yes, it's good that you guys understand. You're all alone outside, and in such a dangerous place, you guys are each other's protection. Now let's go. Yes. Then the 10 of them embarked on the journey to the demon god empire. In the demonic beast domain, the 10 of them did not use any special methods. They were simply walking on foot. Lin Xian would occasionally release a spatial jump, and they would travel dozens of kilometers. The 10 of them made it seem like they were on vacation. Just like that, 5 days passed. The departure of the 10 of them, whether it was the human race or the demon race, was something that couldn't be detected unless you were watching them closely. Late at night. In these 5 days, the 10 of them should have traveled more than 5,000 kilometers. On average, they traveled 1,000 kilometers a day. That was definitely Lin Xian's spatial attribute, Feng Ling, and Morong used spatial attribute as their main means of traveling. If they wanted to be faster, they should have arrived by now. But they still felt that it was good to walk and enjoy the scenery. For any of the 10 of them, this was the first time they had left the human race's territory so far. Previously, Even when they were in the great virtual realm, they were still not more than 500 kilometers away from the human race's territory. Now they were even more than 10,000 kilometers away from the human race's territory. Hey, let's have a good rest tonight. We're now in an area that the human race hasn't explored for many years. It might be very dangerous. After such a long journey, let's rest first. We'll set off tomorrow. Without a doubt, Lin Xian was their captain. Everyone was willing to let Lin Xian be their captain. As for the vice-captain in the end, it still fell on Morongyu. In the beginning, everyone had chosen between Feng Ling and Morongyu as the vice-captain. There were no objections to this decision, as both girls were outstanding and capable. Then the two of them pushed each other away. You can be the vice-captain, you can be the vice-captain. After a long discussion, they finally decided on Morongyu by drawing lots. It's mainly you, Morongyu, and Feng Ling who are more tired. Wang Xintong said. Sai, it's not tiring at all. Come, let's eat hot pot together. Lin Xian then released the law of creation. A simple little house appeared there. Then various ingredients were prepared and the pot was placed there. The law of creation is really useful. Zhuge Feng laughed. It's too convenient. Xiao Xinyue said, the reward I exchange from the God's Awakening Door is also the law of creation. In fact, many of them didn't even know about this thing. However, because of Lin Xian they understood. Oh my God, this law is really powerful. Then, when they exchanged, they actually discovered the law of creation. Many of them wanted to exchange for something else at first, but in the end they all exchanged for the law of creation. Morongyu, Wang Xintong, Han Chuxue, and Xiao Xinyue all exchanged for the law of creation. Ling Ying exchanged for the law of destruction. Because of Lin Xian they knew how useful this thing was. However, Chapter 17:21. After they exchanged for it and tried it for a long time, they found that it wasn't that simple. It was so difficult to use. Although they could use their minds, it wasn't that easy. They found that it wasn't the creation law that was powerful, but Lin Xian. They were all creation laws, but they couldn't do it as easily as Lin Xian. Xiao Xinyue then looked at Lin Xian and asked, but it's not convenient for me to use it. It consumes a lot, and the effect isn't as strong as yours. Lin Xian expected this because he obtained it from the system and directly maxed it out. Moreover, Lin Xian's spiritual power and soul power were very strong. Well, the law of creation is very useful, but the law of creation consumes spiritual energy and soul force. You have to reach a high level in these two aspects to be able to better display the power of the law of creation. The same is true for the law of destruction. However, in some small matters, these two things are very useful, but you might not be too familiar with them, or you might not have enough strength, so you need to practice. Feng Ling also nodded. Well, it's really difficult to use. You must pay attention. Don't force yourself to use this law to do things beyond your ability. Otherwise, the consequences will be very serious. Yes, Lin Xian told us about this. It's also because of this that I feel that this law is really difficult to use. Every time I want to use it, I have to think about whether or not it can be done, or whether or not it will be dangerous for me. This is especially true when I'm facing a stronger opponent in battle. It's even harder to divert my attention to consider such things. I already have to be fully focused on the battle, so where would I find the time to think about such things? Ling Ying said helplessly. She knew that it was very strong, but she felt that it would be better to choose something else at that time. Now that she had exchanged for the destruction law, it gave her a headache. She regretted it. She originally thought that she was a warrior similar to an agility-type warrior, who paid attention to killing. She felt that the destruction law would be very useful if she could display her ability to the extreme. However, she felt that it would be better to exchange for the creation law. It was very useful in ordinary times. Lin Xian said, use it more and practice more. I was like this at that time. I even vomited a lot of blood and found my limit little by little. They nodded. Then various ingredients were added into the pot. If I had known, I would have exchanged for this item too. Why didn't you tell me in advance? Zhuge Feng looked at Lin Xian. Get lost. Are you a pretty girl? Zhuge Feng smiled awkwardly. Alright, I got it. I'll just eat my food. Lin Xian then said, the law of destruction. Ling Ying, remember one thing when you use it. If you're at the same level, the most you can do is injure him. Moreover, don't injure him severely. At most, you'll just break a finger. Although this isn't very useful, the sudden pain will cause your enemy to panic. If your enemy's level is lower than yours by 1 star, the most you can do is injure him severely. However, if your enemy's innate talent and other aspects are very strong, don't try to injure him severely. If your enemy's level is lower than yours by 2 stars, you can probably do whatever you want. Ling Ying nodded. Sure. She felt much better now that she had a plan. The law of creation is actually harder to control than the law of destruction. This is because I use the law of creation more for healing, and to increase my own attributes. Healing is fine, but if it's increasing attributes, you can only try it out slowly to see how much you can increase them without injuring yourself. At the same time, you have to ensure that your spiritual energy is sufficient for the upcoming battle. Lin Xian said to the other girls. Yes, we've already tried this, so we have a rough idea. As long as you get used to it slowly, I feel that there shouldn't be a problem. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, as long as you get used to it, there shouldn't be a problem. However, you must remember one thing. You can break an arm or a leg, but don't try to create life. Even if it's an ant, don't try it. There's a very useful part, which is that no matter what you want to do with the law of creation, try it out first and see how much it costs. Then take your time. They nodded. They would definitely keep Lin Xian's words in mind. This was because Lin Xian was indeed powerful, and he was already very proficient in this aspect. I originally wanted to choose the spatial attribute, but in the end, I still chose the law of destruction. I regret it a little, Ling Ying said as he ate a mouthful of beef. This kind of thing is actually more powerful than the spatial attribute. However, it requires you to be strong enough in order to unleash more power. Lin Xian then created a dipping sauce for the law of creation and passed it to them. Then, you can help us make some plans for the next few days. Xiao Xingyue looked at Lin Xian and said. Lin Xian was their captain, so they definitely had to listen to Lin Xian. Lin Xian stroked his chin and took out a map. This is the map of the Demon God Empire. According to the current intelligence, which is of course from a few years ago, we are now here. We are still 2,000 kilometers away from the border of the Demon God Empire. After entering the border, after another 500 kilometers, we will reach the first demon race city of the Demon God Empire, Demon Wind City. I know about Demon Wind City. Basically, some experts from the human race will at most go to Demon Wind City. I heard that many experts have been there. Wu Yuhan said. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, my idea is to take it down. Everyone was speechless. When they heard Lin Xian's words, they were dumbfounded. What the F***ck? This. Big brother, are you serious? Ling Ying looked at Lin Xian. Han Chuxue looked at Lin Xian and said, even though Monster Wind City isn't the #1 city, there should be quite a number of heavenly Dao within it. We don't even have a single heavenly Dao. So, how should we handle this? Wu Yunhua took a sip of wine and said with a smile. Don't tell me you want us to sell our bodies? Big brother, can you not always say such shocking things? Feng Ling touched her forehead. They had been given a fright. Lin Xian said. That's really what I'm thinking. Demon Wind City is a border city. At the same time, it also means that Demon Wind City's strength is inferior to other cities. It is also the best city to take action. To us, raising our realms to the heavenly Dao realm is of utmost importance. Uncle Morong said that we should join a faction so that we can use the clash between factions to kill fey beasts in a reasonable manner. It will achieve the effect of safely and quickly raising our realms. Therefore, if we take this city for ourselves, it will be even easier. But, even so, how are the 10 of us at the Great Void Realm going to achieve this? Wang Xintong blinked and said. I have a rough plan. It might take some time. Let's talk about it when we arrive. All right. Chapter 1722. 2 days later. The 10 of them came to a place not far from Monster Wind City. Here, They often saw some powerful demonic beasts loitering around, and there were traces of battle everywhere. Some of them were even extremely terrifying traces of battle. Obviously, the demon race was indeed a very chaotic place. The continent was a place where the strong were respected, and among the demon race, this was even more vividly reflected. Like the human race, at least there were some so-called laws to control them, but the demon race did not have these, so it was even more chaotic and dangerous. Of course, they also saw many powerful demonic beasts who had transformed into human form. However, they had all taken the demon aura pill, so under normal circumstances, as long as those people did not have any other intentions, they would not be in too much danger. But, up until now, they had already fought many battles. It was not that some people were looking for trouble because they did not like them, nor were they looking for trouble because of their treasures. After the demon race transformed into human form, especially those who lived in the cities of the demon god empire, they did not have any sense of territory. Other than the overlords of the demon race in the wild, they did not allow others to enter their territory easily. Those who came looking for trouble and wanted to kill them only had one reason, and that was, they were too beautiful. Oh my god! I can't take it anymore. Zhuge Feng had just finished a battle, and then sat there to catch his breath. The 10 of them had just fought 6, 8, 9, and 10 stars demon race experts of the Great Void Realm. They had just killed them, and they were exhausted. What's wrong? Lin Xian asked. Zhuge Feng wiped the corner of his mouth and said, Captain, we met 5 groups of demonic beasts who had transformed into human form along the way, and they took the initiative to attack us, all because they coveted their beauty. His tone was very helpless. Lin Xian scratched his head. Beauties, whether in the human race or the demon race, were coveted by men, not to mention a group of beauties of such quality walking together. Tell me, when those demonic beasts passing by looked at them, who would not have some thoughts? This is indeed a problem. Lin Xian looked at them. Let's not talk about anything else. Let's just talk about bringing them to Monster Wind City and walking on the streets of Monster Wind City. What the F***CK? Wouldn't that cause a huge problem? Don't worry. It may be chaotic outside, but there are clear rules in the cities of the Demon God Empire. You can't fight directly in the cities of each force. You can only fight in the arena or leave the city. Morongyu said. Lin Xian. Arena? What rules? Morongyu shook her head. I don't know, but it does exist in every city. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. Then we can go directly to Wicked Wind City's duel arena to take a look. After we make a name for ourselves, I reckon that the leader of the forces in Wicked Wind City will take the initiative to rope us in. At that time, many things will be much simpler. Lin Xian. Yes, sure. Do we need to disguise ourselves? Wang Xintong asked. Nah, don't. I don't think there's a need for that. We can still fight ordinary Heavenly Dao experts. Besides, the ones in the arena are probably top experts. If we can encounter a Heavenly Dao and slay a Heavenly Dao, our cultivation realm will rise even faster. If we want to quickly reach the Heavenly Dao realm, with the help of the God's Sun system, the easiest way is to kill a Heavenly Dao above our level. The experience gained is still sufficient. Lin Xian. Isn't that too dangerous? Lin Xian. I've fought Heavenly Dao realm existences before. Ordinary Heavenly Dao realm 1-star existences should be fine. I don't think it's too much of a problem. As long as we don't fight those high-level Heavenly Dao, it'll be fine. I reckon those high-level Heavenly Dao won't participate in the arena anyway. Yeah. Let's take a look first. Following that, they headed for Wicked Wind City. Soon the massive Wicked Wind City came into view. Wicked Wind City was a fey city. It resembled the ancient cities in television dramas. It had high city walls and a gigantic city gate. Inside were houses and streets. The Fae did not have any high-tech gadgets like computers and televisions. It was more like they lived in ancient times. Of course, there were a few exceptions. Wicked Wind City's gates were wide open. There weren't many people entering and exiting the city gates, but it was definitely not a small number. The appearance of Lin Xian and company instantly attracted the attention of many Fae experts. Quick, look over there. SS, how beautiful. Why are there so many beauties? Why don't we get one? Are you mad? Look at the 10 of them. These women don't look simple. Especially when they dare to appear here together. Do you think they don't have the confidence to act so ostentatiously? If you don't wish to die, it's best you don't provoke them before you know their background and strength. That's right. This was Lin Xian's thoughts. Anyone with a brain would definitely be suspicious when they saw these beauties. Why would they dare to appear here so openly? They must have some sort of confidence, right? So, on the contrary, they might not dare to make a move. They easily entered Wicked Wind City, and no one stopped them. There weren't many rules between the major cities of the Fey God Empire, and there was no so-called currency. In these Fey God Empire cities, transactions relied on various spiritual items of heaven and earth. There was no money. There are so many people here. They walked on the streets of Wicked Wind City, and were a little surprised to see so many people coming and going. They thought that this Fey God Empire city would be very empty, and there wouldn't be so many people. But now, it seemed that there were probably hundreds of thousands of experts in this city. Moreover, it should be known that most cities in the Fey God Empire only accepted Fey beasts that had taken human form. These Fey beasts had to be at least in the heavenly venerable realm to take human form. Of course, apart from those with extremely powerful bloodlines, they might be able to take human form at the law realm. In other words, this city had hundreds of thousands of heavenly venerables and above. Let's see if there's anything good. In the city, the most you could see were experts setting up stalls by the roadside. There were all kinds of treasures on the stalls, and you could exchange them with other treasures. The premise was that both sides agreed to the exchange. The appearance of the 10 people attracted the attention of a large number of experts. Lin Xian and the others were still very nervous. It was like a few goats disguised as wolves and entered a pack of wolves. If they were slightly careless and exposed, they would be besieged by an entire city. Then the 10 people walked around Wicked Wind City as if they were shopping. Young Master Lang, look ahead. In front, a few people walked over. Then, their gazes fell on Lin Xian and the others who were exchanging treasures at the roadside stalls. Chapter 17:23. It couldn't be helped. They were too eye-catching. In fact, it was fine to be alone, but when so many of them were together, you couldn't help but notice them. Lin Xian and the others had changed their clothes to a more ancient style, and they weren't particularly bright. Otherwise, if they came here wearing modern human clothes, wouldn't that be self-destructing? Langshur licked his lips. What kind of day is it in Evil Wind City today? Before there was Lord Wu, and now there are so many devastatingly beautiful women. It's really unbelievable. Langshur licked his lips again, and then said, "Let's go, this young master has taken a fancy to that woman." He looked at Morongyu. Among so many beauties, Morongyu was indeed the most eye-catching one, because her blue hair was indeed more prominent. Then, young master, can we choose from the others? Langshur smiled and said, "Of course, follow this young master, and you will eat and drink well." At this time the old man behind Langshur said, "Young master, we still have to be careful. Each of them looks extraordinary, and they don't look like ordinary people. Moreover, so many of them obviously came together. This is definitely not simple." This old man is even worried. Could they be people brought by Lord Wu? Or they could be people from other top forces, otherwise they wouldn't have the guts to do so. It's better to be careful. If we're not careful, our entire clan might. Langshur frowned. Obviously, the old man's words made him afraid. That's right. He had never seen them before, and they did look extraordinary, and they didn't seem to be afraid at all. In other words, they had the courage to appear here, and they were not afraid of anything. Let's go and take a look first. Langshur originally planned to King kidnap them. Although it was not allowed in the city, it still depended on the person. Langshur's family was a top family in Evil Wind City, and their family had a good relationship with the Evil Wind City's city lord. He didn't dare to do anything too overboard, and he was afraid that the news would spread to the ears of the boss of the city. But kidnapping people was just a small matter. But for now he still planned to go over and get in touch with them. After all, there were too many powerful forces in the Demon God Empire. Not to mention the major forces, just some of the clans among the major forces were not to be trifled with. There were too many of them. I can use this. Windling saw a blue leaf and took out a piece of crystal. How about this? That expert glanced over. Red dragon spirit, yes. Then Windling completed the exchange with him. There are so many rare natural treasures here. Han Chuxue muttered to herself. Many of them were things that were rarely seen in the human race. After all, it's close to 10,000 kilometers deep into the demon god empire of the demon race. Many of the things here are only found by the demon race. Very few humans can come here, and even if they do, it's very difficult to encounter these things. Therefore, the things that are hard to find in our world are endless here. Morongyu said, and then she frowned. May I know who you are? The corners of Langshi's mouth curled up as he smiled and extended his hand towards Morongyu. I'm Langshi, the young master of the Bloodthirsty Wolf clan in Fei Wind City, Langshi said. There's no need. Thank you. Morongyu replied nonchalantly. They knew that the Bloodthirsty Wolf was a relatively strong Fey beast. It was a Fey beast that had the qualifications to advance to the heavenly Dao realm. Langshi, who looked 25 or 26 years old, was likely more than 1,000 years old. In the Fey race, 1,000 years was about the same as 20 years for humans. For example, although Linglong Shue's realm wasn't high, being only at the 2-star heavenly Dao realm, her combat strength was not something the Bloodthirsty Wolf could compare with. Under normal circumstances, Linglong Shui could easily defeat the Bloodthirsty Wolf at the 4-star heavenly Dao realm. She could even crush it. This was the suppression of the Fey race's bloodline. Linglong Shui possessed a top bloodline, just like the Fey race's dragons. In the eyes of the dragons, these were all despicable bloodlines. Linglong Shue's Void Fox was in existence on the same level as dragons, Qilins, and phoenixes. Under normal circumstances, Linglong Shue's arrival in Fei Wind City made her an overlord. Regardless of how many stars Fei Wind City had at the heavenly Dao realm, they had to treat Linglong Shui with reverence. The Fey race was like that. They had an absolute difference in terms of bloodlines. I've never seen any of you before. Where are you from? Langshi asked with a smile, ignoring Morongyu's question. Let's go. Fengling walked over and said. Okay. Then they ignored Langshi and walked away. Ka. Langshi clenched his fists tightly as he stared at their backs. Young master, don't be rash. The elder held back the enraged Langshi and said. Since they dare to ignore young master, it proves that they have no fear of our Bloodthirsty Wolf clan. After all, Langshi had already pointed out their identities, but Morongyu had responded coldly. She couldn't even be bothered with him. It proved that she wasn't afraid of them. Let's follow them. Perhaps they just don't want to cause trouble? Lin Xian and company walked on the streets. This Fey Race's city is actually quite easy to get used to. There's nothing special about it. Ling Ying said. Yes, that's the case. Then let's prepare to work. Have you asked about the arena? Wu Yunhua nodded. Yes, it's just ahead. What about the rules? There are many duels every day. There are individual battles and team battles. Team battles are held in groups of 10. Basically, the loser will be killed by the winner. Then, the winner will take away all the treasures they have. It doesn't matter if it's an individual battle or a team battle. If you can achieve 50 consecutive victories, you will be rewarded. There are also rewards for 80 consecutive victories. The most important thing is 100 consecutive victories. If you can achieve 100 consecutive victories, everyone will receive a drop of Fey God Blood Essence. Zhuge Feng was curious. Fey God Blood Essence? What's that? It is said that this rule was set by a powerful Fey race called the Blood Kirin. The Blood Kirins are a warlike race. They are also one of the 3 kings of the Fey God Empire. If you can achieve 100 consecutive victories, you can even join the Blood Kirin race. Wu Yunhua said. Blood Kirins. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. The Blood Kirins were a truly powerful Fey race. They belonged to the dragons and were a branch of the Kirins. The Kirins were divided into Fire Kirins, Water Kirins, Thunder Kirins, and so on. The Blood Kirins were one of them. Can we humans use them? Wang Xintong asked. Fengling said. Of course. You can even gain great power. I think we can give it a try, Chapter 1724. Lin Xian was very interested. If you know, on this continent, the strongest aren't humans. The most powerful are always dragons, phoenixes, cheelants, etc. Furthermore, they aren't just strong. Their existence has already exceeded the level of any bloodline on this continent. It's as though they are on a completely different level of existence. To put it simply, if you are at the heavenly Dao 1-star realm, a pure-blooded dragon is also at the heavenly Dao 1-star realm. Dragons can fight 100 heavenly Dao 1 stars. If you obtain the blood essence of a heavenly Dao 1-star dragon, your realm will soar. As for the dragons, they disdain a drop of your blood essence. They are trash. Therefore, you will feel that the gap is huge. Everyone is clearly at the heavenly Dao 1-star realm, but how can it be like this? They are on a completely different level of existence. Therefore, this drop of blood cheelant's blood essence can greatly enhance any one of Lin Xian and company. Yeah, let's put the rest aside for now. Let's see if we can achieve a 100-win streak. Lin Xian. It's difficult. Demon Wind City is most famous for its arena. Although every city has one, Demon Wind Cities is the biggest. At the same time, only those who achieve a 100-win streak in Demon Wind City's arena will be rewarded. Therefore, the truly famous people in the Demon God Empire will compete in Demon Wind City's arena. It's also the most difficult. Wu Yunhua then said, but it's said that in 1,000 years, only one team has achieved a 100-win streak. That can't be right? Only one team in 1,000 years? Wu Yunhua nodded. Yes, that person said. Firstly, it's extremely difficult to achieve a 100-win streak in this arena. It's even difficult to achieve a 10-win streak. This is because you will encounter teams with a winning streak. For example, if we win 10 matches in a row, we will encounter another team with a winning streak of 10 matches in the 11th match. If we win 50 matches in a row, we will encounter a team with a winning streak of around 50 matches in the 51st match. If we win 90 matches in a row, we will also encounter a team with a winning streak of around 90 matches in a row. Therefore, it's said that it's difficult to achieve a winning streak. The opponents will only get stronger. Secondly, if we are lucky enough to achieve a 99-win streak, we will encounter a genius duo from the Blood Cheelan clan in the final match. We just need to defeat them. They were silent. Why don't we just forget about it? Feng Ling coughed and said. Doesn't that mean he's dead for sure? That's not the case. In the 100th match against the Blood Cheelan clan, they will guarantee the safety of their opponents. They can't guarantee the safety of their opponents before that. In fact, over the past few years, there have been quite a number of teams that have won 99 matches in a row. In the span of 1,000 years, there have been at least 50 teams, but all of them have fallen at the hands of the Blood Cheelan clan. Wu Yunhua said. Lin Xian looked at them. What do you mean? I'll listen to you. Han Chushua said. They nodded. Yes, we'll listen to you. You're the captain. Lin Xian pondered for a moment before continuing. My thoughts are, first of all, this will greatly increase our combat strength and teamwork. With such cruel rules and powerful opponents, it will greatly improve our combat strength. Second of all, although this arena is dangerous, we aren't weak either. Moreover, we can use a very legitimate method to kill our opponents. Moreover, our opponents' realms are very high. As long as we can kill them quickly, the experience points we gain from killing them each day won't be less than what we gain from joining a force to fight. Zhuge Feng nodded. I agree. If we join a force, when we can fight is still a problem. After we fight, we can't guarantee how many opponents of high realms we can kill. Basically, whoever loses will die. Then we just have to kill our opponents, and they're from the Demon Clan. There's no problem. Lin Xian nodded. Yes. Thirdly, if we can also get the essence blood of the Blood Cheelan. I think it's a good idea. But at the same time it's very dangerous. Feng Ling said. Let's test the waters first. We're not weak. The opponents we'll encounter before should be some great Void Realm cultivators. The real threat is the Heavenly Path. If we all rise to the 10th level of the Great Void Realm, we can fight the Heavenly Path. Lin Xian said. Okay. Then let's go and sign up directly. Okay. Then they walked over together. It's so big. Looking at the huge arena in front of them, they were secretly shocked. It was really big. The biggest building they had ever seen was probably the stadium. This thing was as big as 5 stadiums. They were outside, and the excited and wild cheers coming from the entire arena were deafening. It feels very lively. Let's go. Then they walked in. Whoosh, the arena was so big. At first, they thought it was so big because they needed a big battlefield. After all, they were all experts, Great Void Realm, and Heavenly Path Realm cultivators. However, when they entered, they found that it was not like that. It was so big that it was full of spectators. Hundreds of thousands. And where were they fighting? A small world. There was a small world in the center area. They were in the small world. And the entire center was a huge screen that projected the fights in the small world. There are so many people. Actually, it's normal when you think about it. How many experts do we have in the human race? The demon race will only have more than us. It's just that they are not as united. It's normal for hundreds of thousands of celestial venerables and above to gather here. Feng Ling said. But why are they willing to waste time to watch the fight? Murong Yu muttered to herself. Yeah, why? Wu Yuhan and the rest were puzzled. Normally speaking, those who watched martial arts competitions were ordinary martial artists. How could they have so much free time to watch martial arts competitions? Wasn't it better to cultivate? It was normal for some to come, but hundreds of thousands of such experts were here. That was abnormal. There must be a reason. It's a bet, Xiao Xinyue said. Xiao Xinyue said. She then pointed to the side. Look. They looked over. There was a huge screen that displayed some data. It was the data of the bets, and then there was a description of the bets. All kinds of heaven and earth spiritual items were used as bets, and then the payout was based on the odds. If they won, their own treasures would be returned to them. At the same time, they would compensate others' treasures and a crystal called the Heavenly Demon Crystal. The Heavenly Demon Crystal could be directly absorbed by demonic beasts for cultivation. If there were enough of it, the cultivation speed would not be slow. In fact, it was a common and necessary cultivation method for the demon race. However, the Heavenly Demon Crystal vein was basically controlled by the top forces. Ordinary demons did not have the channels, and could only use other heaven and earth spiritual items to exchange for it. They also understood why these people did not cultivate, but came to gamble. It was because of the Heavenly Demon Crystal. Chapter 1725. Lin Xian smiled and said, the demon race is the same as the human race. They have all kinds of gamblers' mentality. That's right. For these top demon clans, they basically have some treasures and worldly treasures. They have the capital. At the same time, if they win, they can win other worldly treasures and heavenly demon crystals. In the demon clan, heavenly demon crystals are very rare. Unless it's a top demon clan, an individual, or even a great void realm demon beast can only exchange worldly treasures for heavenly demon crystals. In the image, 20 people were fighting. They looked at the two teams. They should all be above the Great Void Stage 5 stars, and below the Heavenly Tao. Soon all 10 people in one team were killed, and 3 of the 10 people in the other team were killed. The 7 survivors took all the spatial rings and treasures from their bodies. As for the winning team, if they wanted to continue participating, they had to either fight against 10 people with 7 of them, or find 3 people who had the same winning streak as them to join them. Everyone had a badge on their chest. This badge contained the data of the arena, and recorded their winning streak. Of course they didn't lose because losing meant death. Too cruel. Wang Xintong opened her mouth. Lin Xian said, let's go and sign up. Then the 10 of them went to the registration office. You want to sign up for the Death Arena competition, right? Lin Xian nodded. Yes, what's the procedure? Please pay at least a heaven stage treasure or a treasure of the same value. Then you need to name your team. Lin Xian then took out a crystal. Is that enough? Yes. The woman then entered something on what looked like a computer. Although they were demon race and generally didn't have technology, there were still many places that had it and needed it. Please name your team. And make sure that there are no duplicate team names. Lin Xian looked at them and said, Let's call it the Storm Team. Do you have it? Storm Team can be used. Are you sure you want to use this team name? Yes. After a while, the girl handed them 10 badges. Please ensure that you do not discard your badge. Otherwise, all your winning streaks will be wiped out, and you will have to start all over again. After every match, if you win, you will receive 1,000th of all the treasures and heavenly fey crystals as a reward. The amount of heavenly fey crystals is fixed, and it will increase according to your winning streaks. For every 10 consecutive victories, the grade of heavenly fey crystals will increase by a level. Lin Xian and the others nodded in understanding. It was no wonder that it could attract so many teams to fight. It turned out that other than 30, 50, and 80 wins, there were top-notch rewards for 100 consecutive wins. Every winner would also receive a handsome reward. Putting aside the fact that heavenly demon crystals were a necessity for them, this was the wager of several 100,000 top powerhouses. If you win, you can obtain 1,000th of these bets. Don't think that 1,000th of a chance isn't a lot. With hundreds of thousands of experts betting on it, 1,000th of a chance could really be a lot. So when will Storm be preparing for the battle? The woman asked. Lin Xian asked, when can we? The woman said, today there are a total of 5 teams that have registered with 0 matches. 4 teams have already fought, and 1 team is waiting for an opponent. If you register now, we can arrange for you to compete with them in the next round. Lin Xian nodded. Register now. Good. Your registration has been completed. Please wait at the backstage. Then Lin Xian and the others were taken away by a girl. Behind them, Lang Shi and the others walked over, and he frowned. They are here to participate in the battle? Lang Shi didn't quite understand. If they were very powerful, why would they come to participate in the battle? Don't tell me they don't have any power? Lang Shi pondered for a moment. Young master, don't be careless. Although most people come to the arena for the rewards, there are still many people who come from very powerful forces. They are here purely to test themselves, and most of them are experts from top forces. I took a look at them, and they don't seem to be simple. It's best not to rush to conclusions. Lang Shi nodded. And that makes sense. Let's wait and see how they fight. Then Lang Shi went over and asked, when will those people fight? The woman glanced at him and said, sorry, we don't disclose any information about the participants. I'm just asking. I am the young master of the Bloodthirsty Wolf clan. If it's not the Bloodchilling clan, then any force is useless. You. The old man hurriedly stopped Lang Shi. Young master, don't be angry. The Bloodchilling clan is behind the Death Corner arena. Lang Shi snorted coldly. Backstage, this was a room with only 10 people, including Lin Xian. Tea was prepared for them, and they could even watch the fight through the screen in the room. Soon the next fight began. Of course, during this period, those people went to different places to place their bets in an orderly manner. Oh, what team is this? The payout is 3,100. Lin Xian lit a cigarette. With such a high payout, it must be a very famous team in the Death Corner arena. Moreover, it should be a team that has won many matches in a row. However, their opponent should also be a team that has won almost the same number of matches in a row. With such a high payout, it's enough to see how strong this Blood Red battle team is. Before the 2 teams started fighting, no one knew who their opponent was. Only when they went on stage and faced each other, would they know who their opponent was. However, when the fight was about to start, the people outside would be able to see who was fighting who before the bets were placed. At this moment, a beautiful host held a microphone in her hand. Everyone, the bets are done. Next, let us prepare to enjoy the match between the Blood Red battle team and the Scorpio battle team. What followed was a heart-wrenching cheer. The Blood Red battle team has a total of 52 consecutive victories. The Scorpio battle team has a total of 51 consecutive victories. Will the Blood Red battle team continue to maintain their winning streak, or will the Scorpio battle team break the Blood Red battle team's dominance? Let us wait and see. Now we will randomly draw the map. Then, the big screen began to flash between various maps. This is quite good. There are still many maps. Ling Ying mumbled while sucking on a lollipop. It is quite good. After we take down this arena, we will be greatly improved in all aspects. Lin Xian. Let's take a look at this team first. Who knows when we will meet them? Moreover, let's see what the 50-plus consecutive victories stage is. Chapter 1726. If they wanted to continue fighting here, they had to have a rough idea of the realms of the teams here. Then the two teams began fighting on the map. The Blood-Red Battle team has 10 people. 3 of them are at the 1-star of the Heavenly Dao realm, and 7 are at the 10-star Great Void realm. Thankfully, such a team can obtain more than 50 consecutive victories. Morong Yu sighed slightly. The other team is the Scorpio Battle team. 2 of them are at the 1-star of the Heavenly Dao realm and 8 are at the 10-star Great Void realm. The difference between them is 1 Heavenly Dao. This is also why so many gamblers bet on the Blood-Red Battle team. The odds are in the thousands. The difference of 1 Heavenly Dao is indeed substantial. Han Chushua muttered as she watched the battle. This also means that we might not encounter a team with a Heavenly Dao realm in our first dozen consecutive victories, right? Wang Xintong asked. Not necessarily. This is also a matter of luck. If there happens to be a team with a Heavenly Dao realm, and they have just started fighting, with the same winning streak as us, there is still a chance of encountering them. It might even be troublesome if we encounter a team with a Heavenly Dao realm that we have never fought before in our first match. Lin Xian. However, this is indeed a very important opportunity to improve. Everyone has consumed the demonic aura pill, right? Asked Feng Lingya. Wu Yunhua said. Actually, there isn't much to say in the Death Corner arena. Oh. Lin Xian looked at Wu Yunhua. Back then, I specifically asked him about it. That person said that it's not as if no human battle teams have ever come to the Death Corner arena. Furthermore, no one said that human battle teams are not allowed to participate. As long as you have the ability, you can participate if you want. At the very least, in this Death Corner arena, the human race and the Yao race enjoy the same treatment. However, it's best not to reveal your identity as a human, because no one would dare to violate the rules here. Going against the Blood Kirin clan's rules, but you will inevitably be targeted when you leave. Everyone nodded. Then let's make our preparations. Do we need any tactics later? Lin Xian said. We don't need too many tactics. After all, we don't know who our opponents are. All we need to do is cooperate with each other and act according to the situation. All right. The 10 of them had a clear division. Zhuge Feng, Wang Xintong, and the others were more in charge of supporting and filling in the positions. Zhuge Feng's ability was very strong, but his abilities were mostly related to the 5 elements and 4 symbols, as well as various buffs to others. He was more suited to be a support, but why did Lin Xian like Zhuge Feng and want him to join their team? This was because other than his outstanding ability, he wasn't like other people who wanted to show off their abilities. He was willing to be in the support position, and he was open-minded about it. Although in the eyes of others, the most eye-catching person in a team was the vanguard, he believed that he could also be eye-catching as a support. Zhuge Feng would not say that he forced himself to be the vanguard. Because of this, Lin Xian felt that Zhuge Feng was not bad. He was very suitable for the role. Han Chushue and Xiao Xinyue's main positions were control. They both had the ice attribute, and the ice attribute was a very strong control attribute. At the same time, their speed was also very fast. Their control was definitely enough, and they could also ensure their own safety. Ling Ying, Wu Yuhan, and Wu Yunhua's 3 positions were damage output. They all had the dark attribute, and all of them had the dark attribute with full purity. Even Wu Yuhan and Wu Yunhua had the powerful dark fog. The 3 of them were the main damage output. Feng Ling and Morong Yu were control and damage output. They had strong attack abilities and the space attribute. Now they also had the creation precept. Morong Yu also had the time attribute. They did more things such as supporting Ling Ying and the others, using space and time to help them. At the same time, they would also help them deal damage, block enemies, and assist them in attacking their main targets, etc. Lin Xian's position was protection. Although Lin Xian's position was protection, his position was more of a true control. Lin Xian had all the attributes, the creation precept, and the destruction precept. He could have any ability he wanted. Therefore, whatever his teammates needed, Lin Xian would generally be able to help. Therefore, Lin Xian was more of an absolute control. In other words, Lin Xian had to do the most. At the same time, Lin Xian could also be the highest damage output. For example, if an opponent needed a fatal blow, Lin Xian could give that fatal blow. This was the distribution of the 10 people in their team. Of course, this was only an overall distribution. After the battle started, they would fight according to this orderly positioning. However, battles were ever-changing. Every one of them had a position, and that was to fight according to the overall situation. They would fight according to their positioning. Whatever they needed to do, they could do it. This was because each of them had this ability. Even Wang Xintong, who was probably the least outstanding in terms of attributes among them, had been trying to improve her combat skills from the start. Her combat skills were not weak at all. If you asked her to suddenly attack someone, she would be able to do it. It was just that she was more suited to support this positioning. Why? Wang Xintong's precept was the light precept. The effect of the light precept was to increase her and her teammates' speed, defense, and strength. This precept was a support. Her precept was to increase the realm of her teammates and herself. This was also a support. However, Wang Xintong was in the team, and her personality was not to fight for it. This battle, as expected, ended with the victory of that bloody battle. As for the other 10 people other than the 2 Heavens Dao, the other 8 had all died a violent death. The Heavenly Dao would not die so easily. Why did the loser have to die? That was because the victor wanted them dead. They were injured and unable to resist, so they had no choice but to die. However, for the Heavenly Dao, even if they were injured, they would not be injured to a great extent when facing a Heavenly Dao of the same realm. They could drag it out and wait for the battle to end before coming out of the map. Therefore, they would not die. The Heavenly Dao realm is so strong. Wang Xintong mumbled. Definitely. Work hard. We need to attempt to break through to the Heavenly Dao in a short period of time. Although Uncle Morong gave us a year, I'm thinking that we can all attempt to break through to the Heavenly Dao in half a year. If we can fight our way through this death arena, we might even have the chance to kill a few Heavenly Dao each. With our talent, it shouldn't be a problem, but it's still difficult to achieve it, said Wu Yino lightly. Then, she reached out her hand and pulled out a lollipop from Ling Ying's pocket. Ling Ying rolled his eyes and did not say a word. Yes, prepare to go on stage. Chapter 1727. Amidst the cheers, the Sanguine battle team walked out. Those who bet on the Scorpio battle team were purely hoping for an upset. Unfortunately, how could there be so many upsets? Let us congratulate the Sanguine battle team for obtaining 53 consecutive victories and defeating a strong opponent, the Scorpio battle team. Now may the 2 battle teams please come down and rest. Soon we will welcome the next match. For the next match, both Battle Team and Overlord Battle Team are new battle teams that have not fought before. Give them 10 minutes to warm up. At the same time, everyone can start placing their bets. At this moment, someone came to Lin Xian's room. Everyone from Battle Team, please follow me. Prepare to start your match. Lin Xian and the rest nodded and followed him out. Outside, those people looked at each other. 2 new battle teams. Not interesting. Not necessarily. There might be a surprise. It's just that, it's not easy for us to place our bets. What's the big deal? It's 50-50. If we try our luck, we might get rich. These 2 new battle teams are worth watching. Overlord Battle Team? Do you guys think that this Overlord Battle Team is from the Earth War Bear clan? That's possible. Earth War Bears like to call themselves Overlord. After all, they are a strong race. If it's an Earth War Bear, then we still have to bet on Overlord Battle Team. That's right. Then those people started placing their bets. 10 minutes later, the betting stopped. The odds were 10-1. That's right. If they bet on Lin Xian's battle team, they would earn 10 if they won. Normally, the odds would be 1-1. However, because there was news that Overlord Battle Team might be an Earth War Bear, more people chose to bet on a battle team that was more confident. Next, let's welcome Overlord Battle Team. One of the doors opened, and 10 people walked out from there. Wow, then there was cheering. It's really an Earth War Bear. Luckily, I didn't bet on that battle team. The Earth War Bear's battle prowess is still very strong. It can even crush opponents of a higher realm than it. In a normal battle team, the weaker ones would be at least 1 or 2 stars of the Absolute Void stage. I reckon that the Earth War Bear clan would be at least 7, 8, 9 or even 10 stars. They should have come here to train. Don't tell me that this Storm Squad is just a bunch of trash at the initial level of the Great Virtual Stage. The host then shouted, "Next, let's welcome Overlord Team's opponent, Storm Team." Then the door on the other side opened, and Lin Xian and the others walked out. Whoosh! Another wave of exclamations rang out. The reason for this exclamation was very simple. Oh my god, this Storm Team has so many beautiful girls. Is so beautiful. Every one of them is so beautiful. His temperament isn't bad either. How can there be so many beautiful girls forming a team? Everyone, they don't seem to be that simple. Although the Earth War Bear clan is very strong, but they really don't look simple. This match is going to be interesting. Damn. Lin Xian's mouth twitched when he saw the opponents in front of them. There were 10 opponents, and every one of them was over 2 meters tall. Burly men with explosive muscles and hair all over their bodies. It felt like their muscles could lift them up with one hand and crush them. Then look at them. They were fair and tender, and looked so weak. Ha ha ha. The Earth War Bear clan couldn't help but laugh when they saw Lin Xian and the others. A bunch of girls, ha ha ha. I really can't bear to kill them. Ha, I can crush them with one hand. Hey opposite, how many hands do you need us to give you? Ha ha ha. Many people laughed when they heard this. Although some people felt that Lin Xian's group wasn't simple because they looked too beautiful, they felt that they might have an extraordinary background. But to be honest, at first glance, their aura was completely one-sided. Lin Xian said to them, 2 Virtuality Realm 10 stars, 5 9 stars and 3 8 stars. The Earth War Bear clan has strong defense and strength, but they're relatively slow. Understood. Then they're finished. Wu Yunua's lips curled up slightly. Lin Xian, 30 seconds are up. Roger. They didn't bother to reply to the Earth War Bear clan. Ha ha ha. Look, they're so scared that they can't speak, ha ha. The Earth War Bear clan laughed. Lang Shi and the others were watching from the audience. We'll see what realm they are in soon. Then the female host said, next, we'll start to randomly select the map, and the map will start to roll. Stop. Finally, the map rolled to the volcanic area. Next, please enter the map. After entering, the battle will start immediately. Then Lin Xian and the others directly walked in. Swish! 10 people appeared at the same location. This map was near a volcano. It was about the size of 3 to 5 small districts. There was also a volcano. At this moment, magma was flowing and the temperature was very high. In front of them, 10 Earth War Bear clan powerhouses appeared. Start the battle, Lin Xian said. Roger. Wang Xintong's body shone. Law of Light. Activate the domain. Swish. The strength of the 10 of them began to soar at the same time. Zhuge Feng's right foot slightly stepped, and a 5 elements 4 symbols diagram appeared on the ground below them. 3 of the 8 gates, 3 gates open. Hurry. 2 gates open strength. The speed and strength of the 10 people soared again. Space lock. Lin Xian, Feng Ling, and Murong Yu's space erupted at the same time. This? The Earth War Bear clan looked around. Space. Destroy it for me. Yes. Then they bombarded the space that sealed them with terrifying strength. Kill. Lin Xian said. Roger. When the dark attribute reached 100% purity, there would be an effect, which was to break the defense. No matter how strong their defense was, the dark attribute could break it. Shadow Cage. Those Earth War Bears who were bombarding the space were all controlled in an instant. One had to know that no matter how strong they were, Lin Xian and the others were now under the double enhancement of Wang Xintong and Zhuge Feng. In fact, in all aspects, except for strength, they had already crushed them. He was just an uncouth fellow. They liked him the most. Charge. Whoosh, 20 seconds later, plop, one by one, the Earth War Bears fell to the ground. Everyone was speechless. This? Everyone widened their eyes. Their realms are obviously similar. Why are the Earth War Bears being crushed? If their realms are similar, it should be the Earth War Bears crushing others. Sure enough, they're not that simple. Hiss. Chapter 1728. The realms of Lin Xian and the others were about the same as the 10 people from the Earth War Bear clan. However, the Earth War Bear clan could easily fight across realms. So why was Lin Xian and the others able to defeat them so easily? Their strength was one reason. Zhuge Feng and Wang Xintong's enhancement was the second reason. The third reason was the strength of Lin Xian, Wu Yunhua, Wu Yuhan and Ling Ying. What was the most difficult part about the Earth War Bear clan? Their strong defensive abilities. On the other hand, the dark element, which was at its highest purity, was able to ignore any form of defense. The defensive spiritual power that they had released was rendered ineffective. While it was troublesome to deal with due to their powerful physiques, Lin Xian's dark flame was able to directly seal off the space where they were standing. The dark flame also ignored their defense and weakened their physique. Then, they were crushed by the various dark attribute powers. In fact, they didn't use much of their strength. There were still many things they didn't use. The Earth War Bear clan was quite powerful, but there was still a gap between them and Lin Xian and the others. In the Goblin clan, the Earth War Bear clan was not a goblin clan with a head bloodline. This kind of uncouth fellow was the type of opponent that Lin Xian and the others liked to fight. The experts outside were all shocked. For a moment, they all quieted down. Only some people were whispering. Dark flame, that's the dark flame, right? They were shocked that Lin Xian and the others won so easily. One of the experts shouted in shock. What? Dark flame? Could it be the same clan as that person? It must be. If that's the dark flame, then in the whole world, only the Dark Phoenix clan of the Phoenix bloodline can control the dark flame. They are really not simple. Hiss. I feel that this death arena is going to burn again. Other things aside, the Dark Phoenix was an existence that was on the same level as the Blood Qilin. It was the ceiling of the Goblin clan. Now Lin Xian might have been branded with the Dark Phoenix clan's brand. This, Lang Shi and the others swallowed their saliva. Young master, it's fortunate that this old man stopped you in time. Otherwise, it would have been a disaster. The old man was also secretly shocked as he spoke. The Phoenix bloodline. It was too terrifying. They weren't sure about the others, but they believed that Lin Xian was of the Phoenix bloodline. Dark Phoenix. Lang Shi felt a chill run down his spine. Something F** King Big almost happened. However, their cultivation levels are, after all, not high. Lang Shi said. Even if their realms aren't high, for the geniuses of the Phoenix bloodline to come here for the trial, I'm afraid that within this Demon Wind City, there might even be terrifying Phoenix experts secretly protecting them. Lang Shi said, isn't the Dark Phoenix bloodline already in decline? How can there be such young descendants? Many years ago, the Dark Phoenix bloodline suffered a powerful curse. Since then, the Dark Phoenix clan has been on the decline. Although they still have the power of the top tier, their bloodline can no longer be passed down. I'm afraid there are no more than 5 Dark Phoenixes left in the world today. But, what if there is a Dark Phoenix who is not cursed and passed down the bloodline? In other words, this person, he is very likely. Otherwise, how can we explain it? Young master, don't provoke him. Even if the girls beside him don't have any special identities, just him alone is enough. Lang Shi nodded. This young master can still distinguish the severity of the matter. This Earth War Bear clan, they can only swallow this anger. The old man looked at the few people in the distant spectator seats. They were the experts of the Earth War Bear clan. They could only watch as their clansmen were killed, but they couldn't take revenge. Then the beautiful host said excitedly, what a wonderful battle. Although this battle was very short, the Storm Battle Team showed us the shadow of a powerful battle team. We believe that in the future, the Storm Battle Team will continue to win. Let's wait and see how the Storm Battle Team will perform in the dozens of consecutive victories in the future. Lin Xian's team won. According to the Earth War Bear's battle strength, if nothing unexpected happened, they should be able to obtain 30 consecutive victories. And Lin Xian's team crushed the Earth War Bear. If nothing unexpected happened, they should have a chance to obtain 40 consecutive victories, as long as they didn't meet a team with Tian Dao. The arena was filled with cheers. This battle was worthy of their shouts and cheers. Especially when they thought that Lin Xian was from the Phoenix clan, they respected him. Swish swish swish, they appeared on the stage outside. Then their badges flashed, and 1 point was recorded in each of them. Everyone, please go backstage and rest. Also, your rewards will be sent to you soon. Lin Xian nodded, and then they walked away. After walking away, they signed up for the next battle. In the next battle, they would also face a one-win team. How was it? In the backstage room, Lin Xian asked. I feel like I didn't do anything. Han Chuxue said indifferently. Yeah, I also feel like I didn't do anything. I just used the space attribute, and it's fine. Feng Ling said. We are too strong, ha ha ha. Ling Ying said with a smile. Lin Xian said with a smile. That's also part of the reason. The more important reason is that the Earth War Bear clan has no advantage in our hands at all. Instead, it's their weakness. If it were other monsters of this quality, it wouldn't be so simple. Their speed is too slow. Even if we don't seal them with space, we can easily win. They nodded. Many of the following battles may be very boring, but let's just treat it as farming monsters. At the same time, we will accumulate some natural treasures to refine and improve our realm. Let's set a small goal. 50 consecutive victories in 3 months. Lin Xian. Isn't that too fast? It seems like you think that we can fight a few battles a day now. 50 battles, then wouldn't it be over in a month? In fact, that's not the case. It's not fast. Don't forget, in the later stages, we can probably only fight 1 battle a day or even 1 battle every few days. Our opponents in the future are all powerful existences with dozens of consecutive victories. If we get injured, we may need to rest for several days. Oh right. Zhuge Feng said, with 50 consecutive victories, we will probably encounter the Heavenly Tao after about 40 consecutive victories, right? Lin Xian nodded. There's a chance. That's the true experiential training. Our experiential training is at the end. Let's see if anyone can advance to the Heavenly Tao realm during this period. When we were walking over, why did I hear someone say that you are from the Phoenix race? Xiao Xinyu asked. Chapter 1729. This was not something that Lin Xian had considered. Phoenix. Lin Xian thought for a moment. Dark fire. Perhaps he had used this power to make them mistakenly think that he was from the Dark Phoenix bloodline like Huangxi? Ah, I know a powerhouse from the Phoenix clan. It's Huangxi that some of you have seen before. Wow, she's a phoenix? Wang Xintong exclaimed. Lin Xian nodded. Perhaps they saw that I used her power and thought that I was from the Phoenix bloodline, Lin Xian said. That's a good thing. Feng Ling sat there and said. Click. Lin Xian lit a cigarette. Yes, it's a good thing. Xiao Xinyu nodded and said, in the demon clan, bloodline suppression is very serious. It's even more serious than our so-called status in the human clan. In front of absolute bloodline, you may have a higher realm, but you may be afraid of a demon clan with a higher bloodline. Lin Xian made them mistakenly think that he was from the Phoenix bloodline. This will make them afraid of something. Wu Yuhan said. For example, someone wants to kill us, but they don't dare to. For example, if we lose, they may kill us directly if it's someone else. But if it's us, they may not dare to kill us because they are afraid that they will die if they kill us. Lin Xian nodded. That's right. This is good news. They will probably think that we are from the Phoenix bloodline who came out to train. Perhaps there are powerful existences from the Phoenix bloodline secretly protecting us from behind. Pff, they chuckled. This is really interesting. Wu Yunhua crossed her legs. Just like that, 2 months passed. Lin Xian and the other 10 people really stayed in Demon Wind City for 2 months. They barely stepped out of Demon Wind City. When it came to eating, they had the law of creation and could eat whatever they wanted. They also had mobile phones. If they missed someone at night, when they were free, they could make a call or video call. It was still all right. In the past 2 months, all 10 of them had reached the 10 stars of the Great Void stage. Everyone was preparing to break through to the Heavenly Tao stage. However, the Heavenly Tao was not that easy. They still needed more opportunities. They yearned to ascend to the Heavenly Tao, to ascend to the pinnacle of the realm that all of them looked forward to. However, just like Lin Xian, they didn't want to take shortcuts. If you take this kind of shortcut, you might be in the Heavenly Tao now, but you might not be as strong as when you entered the Heavenly Tao. Then why be in such a hurry? During this period of time, the evil divine palace had also looked for Lin Xian. Lin Xian told them what he was doing, and the evil divine palace had nothing to say. They also wanted to see Lin Xian and the others become stronger. After all, even if you advanced to the Heavenly Tao, the poison pill would still be effective. In the past 2 months, they had achieved 40 consecutive victories. His luck wasn't bad. He didn't encounter any teams from the Heavenly Tao. The name Storm Battle Team gradually became famous in the Death Corner arena. They were at the peak from the beginning because the noble race of the Phoenix made them full of controversy and attention. However, towards the end, they were indeed fighting very slowly. Their opponents were very strong. They were basically all 10 stars of the Great Void stage. 10 people. Moreover, they were also very strong. They were even conserving their strength, which would more or less cause injuries. Fortunately, they had many creation laws. How many creation laws did they have in a team? After resting for a while, they would be done in 1 or 2 days. Then they would continue to the next match. Another half a month passed. They had achieved 49 consecutive victories, and they had already repaired themselves. That night, they gathered in a room. No, Zhugafeng, why are you so trashy? Feng Ling couldn't help but curse. Zhugafeng scratched his head awkwardly. I don't play much. That's right. The 10 of them directly King summoned 10 computers, and then used a special signal transmitter to connect the computers to the internet. The 10 of them were playing a custom 5v5. Then Zhugafeng tricked Feng Ling. I told you I'm not the worst. Lin Xian looked at the victory page and laughed. Originally, most of them, including Linglong Shui and the other girls, would not play games. But now, as long as there was nothing to do and they could get people, they would play games frequently. Including Murong Yu, Feng Ling, Han Chuxue, and the others, they were also playing. It was just a matter of standards. However, they were more customizable and just for entertainment. In the past, Lin Xian was the one who was abused. Now, with Zhugafeng, the one opposite Lin Xian was finally not Lin Xian who was abused. Next round. Zhugafeng, you go opposite. You and Lin Xian switch. Forget it. You and Lin Xian are in the same team. Lin Xian is also trash. Feng Ling said. Lin Xian. Hey, don't be too arrogant. TSK. Then Lin Xian looked at Zhugafeng and said, let's team up. Let's show them who's worse. What a joke. We may not be good at other things, but as men, how can we lose to them in games? Little Yu, little Xintong, and little Yingying, you guys come with me. I don't want to. Ling Ying shook his head decisively. Lin Xian. Then little Chuxue. Han Chuxue hesitated for a moment, but still chose to team up with Lin Xian. 20 minutes later, Lin Xian and the others lost miserably. Now you know who's the worst? It's these 2 men. Ling Ying pointed at Lin Xian and Zhugafeng. You're really bad. Lin Xian looked at Zhugafeng and said. You too. Zhugafeng said. Lin Xian lit a cigarette. Smoking again. Leave me alone. Lin Xian rolled his eyes. Then Wu Yunhua stood up and stretched. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to take a shower too. After taking a shower, everyone should have a good rest. Tomorrow, we're going to prepare for our 50th battle. We might encounter Tian Dao. Lin Xian said. They were lucky that they didn't encounter Tian Dao's team in their 40-odd consecutive victories. However, they knew that from the 50th battle onwards, there should be Tian Dao in every battle. Although most of them were first place, they were still Tian Dao. Tomorrow it might be a tough battle. Got it. When it came to serious matters, They were still very serious. Then they left one after another. Lin Xian and Zhuge Feng were in the same room. Needless to say, Lin Xian really didn't touch these girls for 2.5 months. The two of them lay on the bed. Speaking of which, how many of them are your girlfriends? Zhuge Feng looked at Lin Xian with a smile and asked. All of them. Really? Sooner or later? Zhuge Feng laughed. Awesome. Are you not used to being in the same team as us? Zhuge Feng shook his head. No, I like this atmosphere very much. It's extra relaxed, there's no scheming, and then he saw Lin Xian holding his phone and video calling someone, completely ignoring him. Damn. Zhuge Feng couldn't help but laugh. Damn it. This is so annoying. Chapter 1730. Lin Xian was having a video call with Linglong Shui and the others. What? Forget about friendship? That's a given. What's a brother to me? Little Shir, I missed you so much. Lin Xian looked at Little Shir through the camera and kissed her. Little Shir was very cooperative and wiped her face in disgust. Little Tianny came over and tried to get Lin Xian to kiss her. Go away, Little Tianny. Don't block Little Shir. Pfft. Zhuge Feng couldn't help but laugh. I say, big brother, aren't you a little too biased towards girls and disregarding boys? Lin Xian glanced at Zhuge Feng and said, What do you know? Are you a father? I'm not favoring girls over boys. Even daughters have to be spoiled. As long as a son survives, that's enough. As a man, he has to experience the fickleness of human nature and the fickleness of the world from a young age. Only then can he hone his willpower and be more responsible in the future. Say, if a man is spoiled from a young age, what will happen when he grows up? Am I right? What you said seems to make sense. Zhuge Feng smiled. Little Tianny, I'll take you to find a father who loves you more. Yi Renbing rubbed Little Tianny's head and said, Lin Xian. Hey, don't mess around. I'm serious. Yes. Linglong Shui then said, I heard that you're going to fight in the competition for your 50th consecutive victory tomorrow. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, I might encounter the heavenly Tao. Be careful. The heavenly Tao of the shifters is not comparable to the heavenly Tao of the human clan. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, I know. Also, when the demon race reaches the heavenly Tao realm, they can release the demon god true body. For a short period of time, they can return to their original form. Once they return to their original form, their combat strength will reach its peak. Lin Xian said, I know that, but generally speaking, they won't release it because the consequences are quite serious. Furthermore, although the loser will die, the heavenly Tao won't die so easily, so even if they lose, the heavenly Tao might not release the demon god's true body. Linglong Shui nodded. In theory, yes. But you still have to be careful. Don't let your guard down. All right. Then I'll report the good news to you tomorrow. By the way, did anything big happen in the past few months? No, I'll tell you if I do. All right, then I'll hang up first. Yes. Little Shir, give me a kiss and I'll hang up. Lin Xian then moved his face closer to the camera. Shika also moved closer to Linglong Shui's camera, and then reached out her hand and ended the call. Lin Xian was speechless. Ha, young Master Lin, your daughter is really naughty. She's grown up to be so spoiled by you. Zhuge Feng laughed. Damn. Lin Xian put away his phone, stretched and said, This little brat has been naughty since she was young. I don't understand. Her mother is so quiet, so why is she so naughty? Her brother, on the other hand, is so quiet, like a punching bag. Whatever. But it's good to be naughty. She won't be bullied. Bullied? Impossible. She's my daughter, Lin Xian. If anyone dares to bully her, I'll King destroy their entire family. Look. Aren't you the slave girl that people talk about? Ah. Lin Xian rolled his eyes. Get lost. You'll know when you have a daughter. Saimi? I'm probably already married. I don't even have a girlfriend. If I join a team full of beauties, they'll all King be yours. Tell me, when will I be able to stop being single? Lin Xian said. As the young master of the Zhuge family, stop acting. Do you lack women? That's just because you don't fancy them. Me. What I'm thinking of now is to raise my realm. I didn't know about it in the beginning, but now I know. There are so many pinnacle and stronger geniuses above us. Some have even reached the heavenly Tao realm a long time ago. I should work hard to raise my realm and become stronger. Only then will I have the means to protect myself and my family. In this chaotic era, I need more leverage. Besides, it won't be long before humans and demons start fighting. Besides, it's not like the humans and demons will soon be fighting soon, said Zhuge Feng as he took a puff of Lin Xian's cigarette. This was the reason why Lin Xian liked Zhuge Feng. He was similar to Lin Xian in many aspects. Lin Xian also thought the same. If he wasn't strong, how could he talk about doing more? How could he talk about protecting others? First, he had to ensure that he was strong. Only then would he have the ability to protect the people he loved. It was just that the two of them had different personalities. Zhuge Feng was more of a gentleman. He wouldn't scold anyone. He had only scolded people recently because he had been with Lin Xian for a long time. That's right. I have to quickly raise my realm to the heavenly Tao realm. All right, let's rest and prepare for tomorrow's battle. Yeah. A night passed just like that. In fact, it was quite good for everyone to stay together. They would chat every night before bed or before cogitation. Sometimes, they would chat for hours and talk about everything. They even chatted with Lin Xian and Zhuge Feng, much less the other girls. This way, it was very easy to nurture the tacit understanding between them. Early the next morning, the gigantic death arena was filled with people. This was because the first match of the day was the highlight of the day. It was a match between the Storm team. It was unknown who their opponent was, but it was definitely a team with a 50-win streak or slightly more. It was going to be a good match. Everyone, how do you plan on betting today? They were all gamblers. Although they were experts, they needed the many heavenly fey crystals here, treasures that were obtained without sowing. Therefore, at first glance, you would feel that they were no different from those gamblers in human society. They had everything that a gambler should have. I don't think we should bet on the Storm team today. Although the Storm team is indeed very powerful and has made a name for themselves. They even have a powerful existence from the Phoenix lineage, but they are facing a team with a 50-win streak. They have good luck, and have yet to encounter a team with a heavenly Tao realm. And this time, as long as they encounter a team with a heavenly Tao realm, there's no need to say who they should bet on, right? Heavenly Tao realm. If there's only one heavenly Tao realm, it shouldn't be a problem, right? That's a phoenix. That's a huge problem. Even if it's a phoenix, it's fighting a heavenly Tao realm expert at the Great Void realm. Do you think that's possible? That's a heavenly Tao realm expert. It's absolutely impossible for a Great Void realm expert to defeat a team. Even a phoenix can't do so unless it's a weak heavenly Tao realm expert. But for us Fae, as long as our bloodline reaches the heavenly Tao realm, how can we be weak? Chapter 1731. Clearly, these people were more optimistic about the other teams. Of course, the premise was that their opponents had to be at the heavenly Tao realm. However, it should be about time. With 50 consecutive victories, it was time to meet someone at the heavenly Tao realm. That's right. Besides, this is a phoenix that has yet to mature. No matter how strong its bloodline is, it's still not strong enough if it hasn't fully matured. A Great Void Realm 10th stage phoenix might be able to fight a heavenly Tao realm 1st stage, but that's all it can do, right? No one should be able to do anything to the other. But as a team, the heavenly Tao realm can clearly pose a greater threat to the opponent's team. That's right. Among the 10 of them, only one person is from the Phoenix lineage. The others look slightly ordinary. Up to now, it's unknown what race they are from. This Phoenix lineage expert might be able to fight a heavenly Tao, but if the heavenly Tao were to target his teammates and make them lose their combat strength, he would be able to fight 1 against 10. And there's still a heavenly Tao? That's clearly impossible. Yeah, let's see who their opponents are. Lin Xian and company were respectfully invited out and brought to the place where they were preparing for battle. The place where they were preparing for battle could not hear any sounds from the outside, nor could they see anything. During this period, the people outside could see. At the same time, it was time for them to place their bets. Everyone, welcome to the Death Corner Arena. Today's Death Corner Arena is rather lively. The first match today is the dark horse that appeared in the Death Corner Arena 2.5 months ago, the Storm Battle Team. The beautiful MC shouted. Hua! Following that, everyone in the arena roared. Clearly, Lin Xian and the others had also gathered some of their fans. Alright, let's see who the Storm Battle Team will be facing today. Everyone, please look at the screen. Everyone looked over in anticipation. Bloodfiend Battle Team. Hua! Everyone was in an uproar. It's actually the Bloodfiend Battle Team. The Bloodfiend Battle Team is back? They haven't participated in the Death Corner Arena for 3 months, right? They probably went somewhere for training? Previously, the Bloodfiend Battle Team had 1 Heavenly Dao out of 10 members. Do you think there will be an additional one in the past 3 months? I don't know, but what I can be sure of is that there is at least 1 Heavenly Dao. It depends on whether they have changed their members or not. If they change their members, they have to change someone with the same winning streak as them. Then, the beautiful MC said. The Blood Evil Battle Team also won 50 consecutive victories. Today, all of their members are back and there are no changes in their members. It will be their 51st battle. Let's wait and see. Will the Dark Horse Storm Battle Team, who achieved 49 consecutive victories in just 2 months, or will the Blood Evil Battle Team end their winning streak? Let's wait and see. Now let's start betting. Everyone then began to place their bets excitedly. Then, one could see that the odds were rapidly changing. In the beginning it might have been relatively even, but it soon soared to 50-1. That's right, if you bet on Lin Xian's Storm Battle Team to win, the odds were 150. From this, it could be seen that everyone still respected the Heavenly Dao realm. Although in their eyes Lin Xian was a phoenix, a Heavenly Dao was still a Heavenly Dao. And clearly, this Blood Evil Battle Team was definitely not weak. They were definitely very strong. 10 minutes later, Lin Xian's Storm Battle Team's odds were 1/800. Actually, this was already giving them face. After all, the odds were in the thousands previously. Under normal circumstances, Lin Xian's Storm Battle Team's odds were also in the thousands. However, they were indeed giving them face. More people wanted to bet. They didn't believe in other battle teams, but this Storm Battle Team still had hope. After all, they weren't simple. More people wanted stability. They wanted to firmly suppress the Blood Evil Battle Team. After all, the treasures they took out were very precious. Although the odds were low, it was still a win, right? It was still quite useful. There were a small number of people who wanted to take a gamble. They bet on the Storm Battle Team. The odds were 1/800. If there was an upset, they would be rich. And it wouldn't be an upset. What if they had some trump cards? Even then they could still win. Alright, then I announce that the bets are stopped. The battle between the Storm Battle Team and the Blood Evil Battle Team will begin immediately. Let us welcome the Storm Battle Team. Wow! Amidst the cheers, Lin Xian's Storm Battle Team walked out. The cheers are much louder than before. Ling Ying commented. After all, this is our 50th battle. Look, what the F***CK. 1/800? Who are our opponents? Lin Xian could see the odds at this moment. He took a look and was dumbfounded. It was said that the eyes of the crowd were as sharp as snow. Such ridiculous odds could only mean one thing. In their eyes, their opponents were crushing the Storm Battle Team. That was why the odds were so ridiculous. How exactly were they crushing the Storm Battle Team? Everyone, this battle might be very difficult. Be prepared. Lin Xian said. I saw the odds. They nodded. 1/800. If we had known, we would have placed our bets. We have no choice. We are already participating in the battle. We don't have time to place bets. Next time, let's know someone and get him to help us. Alright. After all, it's useful to earn more heaven and earth spiritual items. Mainly, I feel that there will be such high odds more often in the later stages. It's better to earn for free. Alright. Then the host lady shouted, let us welcome the Storm Battle Team's opponent, the Blood Evil Battle Team. Then, the 10 of them walked out. Blood Evil Battle Team? Xiao Yuhan, Xiao Xintong, Have you collected any information about this battle team? Their brows furrowed as well. We have already collected the information of all the battle teams that have appeared during this period of time. However, we have not collected any information about this blood evil battle team. It could only mean that they might be the team before we came. However, they might have not fought for a few months and still maintain their winning streak. They just happened to return. This should be their first battle. Lin Xian nodded. They should be very famous. Be careful. Then Lin Xian glanced at them. They were people. 8 men and 1 woman. 1 heavenly Dao 1 star and 9 great void realm 10 stars. Their overall combat strength, even if they do not include the heavenly Dao realm, is the strongest we have encountered so far. Lin Xian said. Roger. Then Lin Xian continued to check with his Eye of Cave Spirit. These people are mostly agility type. Let me take a look at their demon techniques. The Eye of Cave Spirit could not only check their realms and attributes, it could also check their demon techniques. However, it could only be laws. Things like domains were not easy to check. Chapter 1732. When Lin Xian learned of the demonic beast's demonic skills, he felt more confident. Demonic skills were the skills of the Fey race. They could be categorized into 2 types. They were similar to the martial skills of humans, or rather, the laws and domains of the Fey race. They could also be collectively referred to as demonic skills. Lin Xian said to them, their demonic skills aren't weak. Most of them enhance themselves. One of them is 10 times the gravity. You have to pay attention to that. This heavenly Dao's demonic skill is weakness. It weakens our strength in all attributes. Lin Xian thought for a moment before looking at Wang Xintong and asking, Xintong, is your law useful? Wang Xintong shook her head. It's useless. My law only enhances, but it doesn't have the effect of removing abnormal states. Zhuge Feng said, I can do it, but a heavenly Dao's law isn't something a great void realm like me can reverse. Lin Xian said, it's fine. Leave it to me. It's fine as long as you have the ability. Sure. They were already used to Lin Xian's abilities. They did not know why Lin Xian had the ability to see through others, but it was considered normal. It was a certain ability that made sense. Alright. Now please enter the random map. The duel will begin immediately. Then the 2 teams walked into the teleportation array in front of them and appeared on the map. Shui Di, let's begin. Lin Xian said. Swish. Then they set up their formation. Ling Ying, Wu Yuhan, and Wu Yunhua were at the front. Han Chuxue and Xiao Xingyue were at the sides. Feng Ling and Morong Yu were at the back. Zhuge Feng and Wang Xintong were behind Feng Ling and the rest. Lin Xian stood at the back to control the situation. In front of them, their 10 opponents slowly walked over. Hey, you are the team that obtained 49 consecutive victories in 2 months? I have to say you have some ability. Their leader was a middle-aged man who looked to be in his 30s or 40s. He was their heavenly Dao. The demon-eyed devil tiger tribe was a race that, according to their classification, should belong to the category of heavy warriors. All of their attributes were relatively balanced. Normally speaking, this kind of demonic beast's demonic skill should be a powerful attack-type demonic skill, or an amplification type. However, its demonic skill was actually to weaken the opponent. But thinking about it, there wasn't much of a problem, because the evil-eyed devil tiger didn't lack damage output abilities. 2 women stood beside him. Both of them were extremely seductive. Lin Xian knew that these 2 women were of the same race. Their ability was to control. So what are you trying to say? Lin Xian asked. What I want to say is that your winning streak ends here. Shua, then his surging aura exploded. It had to be said that the heavenly Dao was the heavenly Dao, and the heavenly Dao of the demon race was absolutely incomparable to that of the human race. Of course, this wasn't absolute, but it was true in most cases. As long as the Fey race's bloodline supported them to reach the heavenly Dao, they would definitely not be weak. It's hard to say whose winning streak will end here. Lin Xian's eyes narrowed. Shua, the aura of the 10 of them erupted at the same time. This was definitely the first time each of them had truly fought with the heavenly Dao. Of course, Lin Xian had fought before, but that couldn't be considered a real fight. However, they still had a certain amount of confidence. Otherwise, they wouldn't dare to fight with the Heavenly Tao before reaching the Heavenly Tao. Fortunately, there was only one Heavenly Tao. Although everyone in the Blood Evil squad was very strong, Lin Xian's ability was more outstanding. Pay attention, don't kill this person. As for the others, do as you please. The Heavenly Tao said to his team members. Understood. After all, they had heard those people talking about Lin Xian's team. They said that Lin Xian was of the Dark Phoenix bloodline, so they couldn't afford to offend him. They could kill the others, but this Phoenix, they definitely couldn't kill. Let me feel what the power of this Dark Phoenix is like. The evil-eyed devil tiger roared and charged directly at Lin Xian. At present, there was no scheme. He simply wanted to feel Lin Xian's strength. Moreover, he had confidence in himself. Even if he thought that Lin Xian was a phoenix, he still had confidence. After all, he wasn't weak, and the evil-eyed devil tiger wasn't trash. Moreover, he was a Heavenly Tao. If a Heavenly Tao was afraid of Taishu, it would be a joke. Although there was suppression and restraint in the Fey race's bloodline, he didn't feel that kind of substantial suppression from Lin Xian. Heavenly Tao? Then I'll test the strength of a Heavenly Tao. Whoosh! Lin Xian charged at the Heavenly Tao, then said to Wang Xintong and the rest, I'll block this Heavenly Tao. You guys deal with the rest. Xintong, don't give me any boost. Understood. Lin Xian believed that as long as he blocked the Heavenly Tao realm, with Ling Ying and company's strength, they would definitely be crushed by Ling Ying and company who were at the same realm as them. Although they weren't weak, Ling Ying and company would definitely be able to crush them. This was a huge opportunity given by the Blood Malevolence battle team to Lin Xian and company. Whoosh! Lin Xian charged to the side with the evil-eyed devil tiger. Lin Xian had deliberately opened up a distance between them, so that they could fight as far apart as possible. This was because this map wasn't an ordinary battle arena. It was huge, to the point that one couldn't even see a shadow when fighting here. It was just that big. Lin Xian took all the pressure on himself. At the same time, he wanted to test the gap between him and the Heavenly Tao. Or rather, how long would it take for him to destroy the Heavenly Tao? At the same time, Lin Xian wanted to ensure that the evil-eyed devil tiger's strength was unable to affect Ling Ying and company's battle. This was because Lin Xian had absolute confidence in Ling Ying and company. The people outside were secretly astonished. What is this person doing? Is he going to challenge a Heavenly Tao realm expert at the Great Void Realm? Is this the pride of a phoenix? This is going to be interesting. Originally, if it was a pure team battle, it would be difficult for us to tell how strong this expert from the phoenix lineage is. But now he's fighting a Heavenly Tao realm evil tiger one-on-one. That's the best way to see their strength. That's not right. We've been tricked. I think the Storm Battle team has been tricked. I think Xiehu is deliberately challenging a Phoenix lineage expert. He's very sinister. He clearly knows that he can control the situation on the main battlefield, so why would he challenge someone else? Unless Xiehu has absolute confidence in himself. That's also possible. After all, he is a Heavenly Tao. But I feel that against a Phoenix, any confidence is useless. It's likely a trap. That's right. It was a trap. In the eyes of the evil-eyed devil tiger, Lin Xian was the strongest. The other 9 were all good-for-nothings. Although they weren't weak, they were definitely not strong. It was hard to say if this Phoenix lineage expert was in the team. Once he left the team, Xiehu believed that his team members could easily finish off Lin Xian's team members. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.